Hello, everybody. They can hear me. All right, hang on. Once these guys stop being nerds, they'll be able to hear you.
All
right.
Well, I mean, car, it was the one with Roy in it.
Whoa!
Mike's
Wait a second.
Mike's on an L streak tonight.
What's the one with? No, I don't think I. What's the one with Roy in it? Oh, that's Binding Blade. The one with Roy is Binding Blade. This one's Blazing Blade.
Right.
I
We
guess
didn't
just
get the one with Roy.
Yeah,
you're
no,
right
but
about that.
I just thought the one with Roy would have been called Blazing Blade because all of his moves in Smash Brothers have fire and his sword
everybody.
is like a fire sword.
We're about to get started.
About to get started.
I have it. No, let me see here.
Blazing Blade, that's the one set in Evil East, right, Mike?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. You mean right, Jeff?
Okay. Listen.
Where the hell did you say this? I completely missed.
Yeah, on Game S Mornings.
Game S Morning, I was just like, well, I mean, listen, I'm not wrong about the creative leads being working on those games.
You said that's the team that made all the Evil East games. Absolutely not. Of course, there's like two people.
It's the people that everyone's just. Oh, okay. We'll just do this on air.
It's not the main director, not the main guy. He's not there, so there.
Which main director?
I don't know his name, Jeff. I'm not that much of a nerd. It's like the co-director is like the art director of Final Fantasy 16. Like, of course, in Square Enix, you're gonna be able to trace back almost any team working on a Final Fantasy to Final Fantasy Tactics. And then you and Jay were talking about all your favorite things about Final Fantasy Tactics and only reference things.
I didn't play Final Fantasy Tactics. I only played Advance. Of course, that's the one I'm referencing.
Like, oh yeah, Tactics is great. I love how it has the snowball fight. It has the judges on horse seats.
Yeah. That's what I do like.
God.
All right.
Holy shit.
All right, let's all right, I think we're ready to start, I think. Let me turn this music off.
We don't we did, do you have the music? We didn't hear the music if you played it.
Yeah, I haven't played it yet.
I heard it earlier. Although no, I heard it on the stream. Never mind.
No, on the stream.
You guys probably didn't hear that.
Evil is
Not yet.
Okay, I was just I don't want to say because you're gonna start arguing. The faces of those characters look a lot like faces from characters from 12 and the Tactics games.
Yeah, because it's the same art director. Yes,
I'm just saying that. I'm not saying anything, Mike. I'm not saying you're wrong.
But
he is wrong.
What are you talking about? Final Fantasy Tactics. That's a very distinct art style that is not in
but the faces,
any of the other games.
Yeah, I don't know how to say it. It's not the style, but like the flat.
The fact that it's medieval, yes.
The fact that it's anime,
the fact that it's anime medieval, yes. I don't follow you.
Sure.
I was gonna say it just looks like 14.
I didn't want to say. I didn't want to say.
You're allowed to say what you want, but I'm gonna tell you when you're wrong.
Yeah, I don't think I'm wrong. It's just like look at the faces in the 16.
You just think
all
white video characters look alike. That's all.
And the format of their faces, like the eyes, like very like. Kind of, I don't know how to explain it. Just look at the faces side to side, and you will.
I get it, Christian.
I get it.
I get it.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Okay. All right, everybody. We're gonna get going here.
Also, Jim Carrey's not coming back for Sonic 3.
Yeah, Pablo Cuss. I know 12 is Ivilus. I know. What the hell? Yes.
Yeah.
What's happening? I get it. All right.
Blame us for thinking you wouldn't know, though.
No, I don't. Of course not. Of course not. All right. I think I'm gonna count us in. Mike, you ready? Did you guys hear this?
I didn't tweet.
We did not hear anything yet.
Yeah, we didn't hear
anything. What am I using then? I bet I have that on because I was doing a show.
Jeff and I are back where we belong in separate buildings. Also, Papa Pichu, I don't know what he means by it's the same. There's a lineage between the Tactics team and the 16 team.
It's the same thing that literally. Let's just do it on the air.
Didn't you just say that, Mike?
No, I didn't.
Oh.
But that's creative business.
It's like Yoshi's. It's like Yoshi's Island, like fucking everyone Nintendo's worked on Yoshi's Island.
Well, sure, okay, in that sense, in that sense, yes.
Yeah.
But okay, then sure, everything is a spiritual successor to Final Fantasy Tactics. Then we did it.
All right, let's do this. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, in 5, 4, 3. God, the music's still so loud.
You're
I
still
hate
gonna
it.
fix this. This is like the third week now.
I'm turning you down. Which thing goes down here? It's the podcast. Decide everything. Blah, blah, blah. Jeff Grubb with me is...
The music's still loud. Oh, now it's just turned off. Hi, I'm Mike Minotti.
How you doing, Mike?
Fantastic. It's great. No complaints at all.
Yeah, that's good stuff. Why are you so wrong about Final Fantasy?
I'm completely right about Final. Yeah, Jeff, you're the expert of Final Fantasy for
here's
sure.
Here's the thing with it. Literally every time someone brings up the creative team behind the game, they always yell at me. Oh, like Tactics Ogre, Final Fantasy Tactics, and Vagrant Story. All the Ivalice games. Well, I don't know about Tactics Ogre, but two of those I know are Ivalice games.
Tactics Ogre is definitely not Ivalice. Vagrant Story is. I don't know why there's
there's
a couple.
Final Fantasy Tactics is not.
Tactics is. I said Tactics Ogre isn't.
Yeah, I know. That's the one I said. Yeah, that isn't. The two other ones are. Yes.
Vagrant Story. Look, the Ivalice games, all right, are Vagrant Story, although that's kind of like
Final Fantasy
sort
12.
of done after the effect 12 Tactics, the other Tactics games also. And then there's an Ivalice in Final Fantasy 14, but it's not like the Ivalice.
Okay.
So,
I definitely got that. Definitely threw me off a long time ago. That was like confusing.
Yeah, I mean, look, it is confusing, but you should also just trust me.
No, you're wrong.
I'm right.
Okay, then you need to go argue with every person in my mentions. I'm sick of you after them now on.
People are just yelling at you about how like it's similar to that in tone stuff. I don't think they really.
It's not in tone. It's like they're talking about the art director and there's like
but that's not what you said. You said the team.
Okay, I meant like the creative leads. That's what I meant. That's a
couple of them.
Yes, a few. Right, a few. Right. That's what matters. That's what I meant.
I just want to get super caught up on tactics comparisons.
Yeah,
although
that's
they have
fair.
the hunt board from 12, and that's exciting. I like the hunt board.
Yeah, obviously they're just going to be taken from all bunch of different Final Fantasies for this one. Have you played that demo? Have you played the demo?
No, I have not. I have actually not played anything yet still. Because it's like, the whole time we were gone, it was kind of like, man, I sure was into Tears of the Kingdom, Diablo 4, and Street Fighter 6. It's kind of a bummer to be missing those. And let's say I was to review a game coming out imminently, and it was a long game, and I got code for it before I was going to be gone for 8 days anyways. I mean, do I even bother trying? Like, what am I going to do?
Yep,
what am I going to do?
I know what you mean. It's hard to like get back in the flow of things. I did play a little bit of Zelda last night, and that was nice to like get back to that because that game's still very good.
I got to finally play more of it at LAX actually because I had a couple hours to kill before my plane arrived. So it was actually very easy just to get back into that.
Yes,
just
it is.
Run around and start doing some. I did the 4 temples, so now I'm like trying to get my armor better before I really start going to the final stretch there, whatever that is. And doing that means kind of finding more strong enemies, more of those kind of world bosses, and getting some more rare materials. As I'm looking around for those, I'm discovering more, temples and not temples, shrines,
yeah,
and little other whoosy whatsits here and there. So yeah.
Yeah, it's still a really good game. I want to beat it because everyone just keeps talking up that ending. Everyone says how good the ending is. And I gotta see it. Breath of the Wild's ending was kind of a wet fart. Just wasn't much of one. Just kind of like you I like the vibes of it, but you're right. There's much. I think the final boss like looks cool. You're not doing very cool things to it.
No, it was kind of,
but it looks amazing. It's such a cool look.
It looked okay.
That like fiery pig thing was just incredible looking. Yes, but I'm ready for this game to wow me. But yeah, I don't know how's getting back for Summer Game Fest and all that.
It was fine. It seems like everybody had almost some kind of an issue or another getting back. I know Dan had a nightmare with flight stuff. Yeah. I'm not sure exactly how that ended. I just had we had an hour delay on the ground before we took off because they had to swap out a computer, which was honestly fine because it was a red eye anyways. I knew I was just getting back home the next morning. So I was like, look, I'll just fall asleep now then. That's fine. I don't care. So It was no big deal. But yeah, it was a little weird getting home from the red eye. So I tried to work a little bit when I got back, and I was just so tired. But I still had 2 meetings, so I had to sleep between the meetings a little bit. But then today I got to sleep in and stuff and get a little work done, but mostly take it a little easier. So I'm feeling pretty normal again.
Yeah, I was kind of pretty similar, where it was that red eye really shot me, and then working nonstop also got me. And so I got back and just slept a ton, just slept so much all throughout the day. The day I got back, we did go to the aquarium, and then I got back and slept even more. But like,
were the kids excited to see you?
Yeah, everyone was really happy. It was really nice. Grandma was here. We all hung out, went to the aquarium, and that was fun. And the kids have been hanging out with me down here. Like they clearly were like, we're missing games because I'm usually the one that like gets it on for them.
Sure.
So they've been really getting through Sackboy, and they're like getting through those levels without me. I thought like, okay, we'll just keep going back.
They know Sackboy.
Yeah, they know. That's right. They know Sackboy. And they went back to the first level, and I'm like, you'll probably just do this over and over because it's the one you could beat. And no, they just keep beating level after level and figuring stuff out. And yeah, there's some like mechanics I need to help them with, but that's been a lot of fun to watch and like help here and there. And then yeah, it's been like just trying to get back in the swing of things and finally feeling like I'm there. But we'll talk about Summer Game Fest itself, like going to the events, attending.
If you guys hear any weird like noises, like my dog's been a little coffee since I picked her up at the boarding. She was doing better till just now. I might have to take her to the vet tomorrow.
She's got doggy COVID.
I hope not, but I don't know. It's almost like she's trying to cough something up, so I don't know what it is. And, I don't know why she's doing this. She was actually better until just now. Now she's there she goes, coughing it up.
Well, that's fine. All right, I want to thank everybody for joining us. You can get more from Mike and me by joining the Discord at GameMess.net.
Yeah, everyone's saying Kendall cough. She just got vaccinated for that, like right before she left. So I don't know. We'll see.
Give us a good rating wherever you are listening. Hit that like button on YouTube, please. If you want to ask a question, you could drop a super chat during the show here on YouTube. We'll read all those before the end of the episode. Thank you to Carlos Ayin, who's Insane in the Rain Music on YouTube, for the use of our theme songs. Thank you to One Up versus CPU for our artwork. You can find more of him over at oneupversuscpu.com. We are on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and wherever pods are caught. Thank you to the mods, and support this channel by going to patreon.com/GameMess. That gets you access to our private channels in our Discord, the monthly Q&A, 1 month early access to our Jeopardy games, participation in our monthly game club discussions, and of course, all of our shows ad-free. All right, Mike, Summer Game Fest. We went to that. I would say that we conquered it. We pretty much destroyed it.
I think so. I think you were kind of, at least in the gaming journalist world, perhaps the king of Summer Game Fest, Jeff. Congratulations.
And you were prom queen. Absolutely.
Maybe court jester. Something like that. Yeah. Man, it was nuts. I mean, part of it was my own fault, but I was gone longer for this than I ever was for an E3, actually.
Yeah, listen, I liked it. I had a really good time. They really figured out a way to make Summer Game Fest feel valuable to us. It's something we talked about over and over. In the end, I think that was sort of the opinion, the wide opinion of most people I talked to. And yet it went on for way too long. We were gone way too long. It was too much, too many days.
Yeah, that's like the one thing I did kind of miss from, like, especially the E3s of old, before you had people like EA, Microsoft, kind of places doing their own thing. I didn't miss when it really was just, here's everybody in this one big convention center. There's going to be some pains with that, and you're going to like go to their press conferences on certain days, but generally everybody is just kind of at the one thing. So I mean, it's weird because I both liked the current size of Summer Game Fest. It felt really nice this time.
Yeah.
And yeah, it also seems inevitable that it's going to grow, which will be good in some ways, worse than others. I mean, I saw Jeff Keighley walking around Phil Spencer, right? And what do you think that's about? It's about trying to get him on board for next year, right?
I think so.
I'm sure he's doing the same thing to other people. So we'll see if any of them, kind of bite on that, I guess. But I mean, like at Ubisoft's just doing their own thing. Why not?
Yeah,
just be part of Summer Game Fest? I don't know.
No, Bandai Namco had a thing.
Bandai Namco was there.
Yeah,
they were at Summer Game Fest.
There was another company though, other than Ubisoft.
Capcom?
Maybe was it Capcom? Maybe it was Capcom. Yeah, I didn't go to it, so I don't know.
Oh, you mean like a thing? Well, Microsoft did. Microsoft.
Well, obviously, obviously Microsoft did. But like on those final nights, it was like Ubisoft had a thing that people could go to, and then there was another third party.
Well, there's that Final Fantasy 16 like launch event.
Yeah, no,
which is more of like a spectacle, less of like a useful journalism thing.
Yeah, God, we had that video on in the office when we were kind of getting ready for those night shows that night, and it's like, man, this thing is weird. It's like this really long break. That Final Fantasy thing is odd.
Oh, Jeff, I'm getting a storm coming in. Jesse just warned me about it. I heard it rolling in. So if you suddenly lose me, that's what it is. I'm not disgusted
it just
by
rolled
something
over
you
us.
said.
It just rolled over us.
Fun.
So yeah, it's good. It was just some thunder and lightning. It's all good. But yeah, I don't know. Listen, I guess we could talk about like attending the show itself. It was useful, like we said. The show floor, it's not very big. It's the size of. It's not even like half the size of an E3 hall. It's like not even a quarter the size of one.
But man, it was much bigger than last year. We kind of were like, telling you how it was bigger. And even though it was like in that same place, it was just taking up a lot more of the surrounding area. So it was very useful. But man, I mean, it's interesting, Jeff. I remember doing those early E3 mans. We were really, kind of under the radar there. Like, of course, we were younger, starting out. But even for a while, when we had been doing it for 6 years, 7 years, like even that stuff before the pandemic, like those last E3s, still relatively flying under the radar. It was kind of neat to have so many people like coming up and saying hi, like putting names to faces, and people I never knew before come up and say hi. All that stuff was really fun.
Real quick, I guess it was Bandai Namco that also had a separate booth off of E3. Yeah, weirdly.
I didn't even know that. What are they doing at that booth?
No idea. Steven Totilo mentioned it, and he's like Ubisoft and Bandai Namco both had one. I'm like, oh.
Is that where they're showing Ridge Racer?
That's where Ridge Racer was. Yes.
Shit.
Actually, unfortunately, it was Rage Racer. I'm sorry, actually. So
I'll take it. I'll fucking take it, Jeff.
Ridge Racer 64 2. Which one's the bad one? That would actually be real bad. Ridge Racer 64 2.
I don't think it's very good. I mean, I think there's like that weird, like more realistic one they released for like GameCube and stuff that's not particularly good. But hey, why don't we say this real quick? Because chat's freaking out. I want to think we don't know. But as we're going live, they did announce that Fire Emblem, aka Fire Emblem: The Blazing Blade, the first Fire Emblem game we ever got released in North America, it's on the Game Boy Advance, is coming to Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack on June 23rd. Jeff, we kind of had a string of like NSO releases. This is a big boy one. This is, I think, a lot of people's first Fire Emblem game. It's a really, from what I remember, a fun one. This is that era where those Game Boy Advance games had incredible pixel art that still looks amazing, especially those battle animations. Lynn is there, and she just shows so much thigh. It's fantastic. So I'm excited for this.
Are you sure it's the Blazing Blade?
Yes, actually, we went over this very heavily with Sean.
Sure it's not the Binding Blade?
I thought it was the Binding Blade. Apparently, that's the one that came up before this with Roy. I thought the one with Roy was the Blazing Blade. No,
the Binding. Okay, so the Binding Blade will also come to Game Boy Advance Switch Online expansion pack on the Japan side next week. So
so they just get both, man.
Yep.
Can't they? I know it's a lot of text, but God, I wish they would translate that.
That fan translation's out there. It was fun talking to John Drake over at Disney, and he's like, he'd be like, can't we just take fan translate or for like do like something equivalent to that for like their games? There's someone out there just doing it, and like here's a bunch of lawyers telling me why we can't do it, and I don't really listen to them. It's like, yeah, that I guess these companies just can't do that.
It's sometimes like this. Like I know when they did the Trails from Zero Trails from Azure, I think that was actually built off of the fan translation. So every once in a while, but you're not going to see Nintendo
and Christian
be like,
Whitehead,
we'll just use the Mother 3 fan translation. Well, I loved harassing John Drake, by the way, all weekend long about Quackshot.
Yeah, that was really fun. He's a good sport.
Every time I saw him all week, like, hey, remake Quackshot. Then finally was like, do you think that would make money? And I was like,
remake Quackshot.
Remake Quackshot, you stupid son of a bitch. Like, I don't know. That's not my job.
But that was the vibe where it's like you would just keep running into people. It really was like a college campus. They called it a campus.
Yeah, we had time to have running gags with people.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
And you would just see the same people over and over because it wasn't 20,000 people here for E3. It was maybe 400, 500 people in this smaller venue. And you would go back to the same like rest areas over and over again.
You didn't have like a million people like coming in from GameStop, right? Because they can get in, or those. I know at the end they're really loose with who can get in, stuff like that. It really was pretty much the people who actually should be there needed to be there.
Yep, So it was cool. The event itself worked really well. I don't know. I guess do you want to go over some of the games?
I do, but first, we got a super chat from Apucci here who said, "Dope seeing you at Smash Burgers this past Sunday, Mikey. Thanks for the pick." Yeah, I ran into him at Smash Burgers at LA Live because
that's cool. That's fun.
Yeah, Microsoft wasn't serving anything I could eat at their thing, so I left and got a cheeseburger.
I guess let's ask. I mean, you get recognized a couple of times. It was kind of fun to like kind of have your profile raised up a little bit. Yeah,
a little. Yeah, it was. I'm not gonna lie, it was nice. It was cool.
It was nice.
So, and I really appreciated, people coming up and saying hi. It was really fun.
It was definitely the one where the most like not just PR people but developers like basically at every single appointment they're like big fan of Giant Bomb. Listen all the time, and they would make like jokes, knowing like, oh no, for real, like the guy showing us Mortal Kombat was like, "Do I get podcast points if I help you?" And it's like that's one of Jan's running bits over there. It was cool and cute, and I really appreciated it. And it was the one story I'll tell. This one, no names, and he definitely doesn't work. They definitely don't work for From or Bandai or anyone over there anymore. But it was very funny to hear from someone who at one point had worked with From like relationships stuff a little bit during Elden Ring. And how all that stuff we were saying was like always causing headaches. He's like, all this stuff is true. It's just out of date. I'm like, fucking knew it. I fucking knew it. But it was just funny to hear them like be pretty good sports about that and stuff. So, and that was like kind of every single appointment was people mentioning, oh yeah, we either know you from Giant Bomb or from Game Mess or all this other stuff. And it was nice. It had not been like that in previous years.
No, right. Like, yeah, getting comments even from like some of the Mortal Kombat people, like, oh, we like the podcast. Even the Disney people were like, oh, we like 90s Disney. Let's listen to it. Like, that tickled my fancy.
I bet. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, that's cool. That I guess that Disney event's something that was a lot of fun as well.
Yeah, that's the first thing we did. Yeah. I mean, because you've never been to Disneyland before, right?
No, and I was really impressed. I was not expecting it to be that impressive. I was I always heard Disneyland's a smaller place. And so in my mind, I'm like, this thing's going to feel tiny. It did not feel tiny. It feels amazing.
The castle's smaller. Otherwise, it's a gigantic park, especially with that Star Wars stuff. And we didn't have a ton of time because we only kind of got in at 5 p.m. And then we did the Disney Illusion Island preview, which was a really nice low-key preview event that they held at the old arcade at Tomorrowland. And those are,
and we'll talk about the game itself here in a minute.
Yeah, I've interacted with those people a bit. But Disneyland was fun. We basically had enough time to do just about everything in Galaxy's Edge, the Star Wars area. And
I had never done that before.
So excited to get you on Rise of the Resistance, the big ride there.
And Jan handed me the 360 cam for that. So you're going to, there's probably going to be video of me like just cheesing through most of it, especially when it like does the drop or whatever, all the other stuff. I guess I won't spoil it for people who haven't been on it, but so many cool things that happened during that ride. And you're just going to see me grinning ear to ear. I'm going to look like a real goober and I can't wait.
Yeah, we got to do that. We all got to do the Millennium Falcon ride, and we went to the cantina. So we did Galaxy's Edge really good.
I really liked the cantina. Those drinks were really fun. The fuzzy bantha, fuzzy tauntaun.
I made sure they got fuzzy tauntaun because it has the one with like the numbing foam.
Right.
So like you get a big like sip of that, and it numbs your mouth, which like actually has a purpose because that changes the flavor, right? Changes the way your tongue works, but it's just also really funny to watch people like Dan like react
like, what's going on?
Going numb. Yeah, it was great. We also got to do the new Mickey and Minnie ride that they have there. Good. Very cute ride. And then did we even do, because you guys had to make your bus at 11. I tried very hard to pressure you into staying till midnight.
We should have, because our bus didn't come till 11:30. We had plenty of time to do a couple more things, so.
Yeah, I was trying to get. We did, because we didn't get to do Indiana Jones. Is probably the best ride you didn't get to do. We didn't get Dole Whip, but hey, just something for next time, man.
Exactly. Yeah, we'll make it back there. I'm sure. It was the people that hosted us were very, very kind and made it very clear that if we want to make something similar happen again in the future, we probably could. So yeah,
that game is actually, I'm really into that Mickey Illusion Island.
I am too.
It's basically kind of like a Rayman Origins or Rayman Legends, but more of a Metroidvania. In all platforming. There's no real combat per se, but it's just, it's a lot of wall jumping mechanics, and it just feels really snappy, and like the character animation and all the little personality quirks are really fun. We were having a good time with that. Yeah, that's a Switch exclusive, which is interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's probably the right move, at least to start. I bet it'll come to everything eventually, but to start it off as a Switch exclusive, sure, why not?
They're definitely targeting like a kind of all ages group, and that's probably the best for that. And because it's 4 players, they are sort of doing the hey, you can use the one Joy-Con kind of thing.
And it works fine that way, and it's it's not heavy on combat, it's not heavy on precise platforming, it's like, it's low key and slow paced, but it's a lot of fun stuff can still happen because it's 4 people doing stuff all at once, and that can feel pretty exciting still. So I was really into it. I think they've nailed what they're going for.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's going to be a pleasant surprise for a lot of people.
And then let's see, Summer Game Fest itself. I guess let's start with the things you at the show. Did anything stick out to you? I guess
at like actual Summer Game Fest.
Yeah, the presentation.
The presentation. I mean, gosh, I almost forget what was like. The presentation is almost like a blur to me compared to the 2 days I spent playing the games at Summer Game Fest. well, there wasn't much in the way of like big and new announcements, right? It seemed like we just kind of got good looks at things.
I got like a list of games here, and I guess Alan Wake 2 looked pretty good.
Well, like Alan Wake 2 is a big winner of the show in general, just because that's a game that we all knew was coming out this year, and it was like, oh, they're doing that finally. That's cute. And I think between the showing at the show, and then more importantly, the long gameplay demo they showed the journalists in a theater, like I got to see that. I think a lot of people were very impressed with the way Alan Wake 2 is shaping up. That went from a game that seemed really low key to now becoming a lot of people's like most anticipated games for the fall season.
Yeah, I'm really into what they showed. I didn't get to see that theater demo. Emma went for us, but she seemed to be very excited about it, as did everybody. Lucy was she would not stop about it. She was just like, I'm going home right away and downloading Control and Alan Wake 1 again and gonna play through all those.
And it's just perfect for me because like we just played Alan Wake 1 this last October for the Game Club, and it's just like such good timing. Like I knew nothing about that series, and now I'm super excited for this sequel. It's really working out.
Yeah. So there were a lot of shows. I guess we'll start talking about some of these games. Instead of like going show by show, I'll just ask you, what was your favorite presentation and what stuck out to you the most?
Okay, so like Microsoft probably was the best presentation.
Yeah.
And I mean, look, Starfield looks incredible. It looks amazing.
It really
look,
does.
I got this thing today. I was at Target. I got the controller.
I was about to buy it, and then someone mentioned like Microsoft's just giving them away, so I reached out to PR, and they're sending me one. So
shit. Damn it.
I would have bought one though. I'm right there. It is a good looking controller. So Mike's holding the collector's Starfield controller with the gold D-pad and just the amazing
transparent shoulders,
and that amazing like rainbow star design. It just looks fantastic.
I usually do not like the way their like custom like themed controllers look for specific games. I was looking at some. I saw their Sea of Thieves controller, and it's just like somebody threw up some random colors on it. It's usually junk, and this is gorgeous.
It is gorgeous.
Ooh, like I kind of had to have it. I hope the game's good now because I have this controller to remind me of it. But and normally you're going to tell me you're going to do an hour-long deep dive into one game. Excuse me, I'm going to be like, I don't care.
Yep.
That's way too long. Starfield is looking so incredible. It really is like looking like this sort of Bethesda-style space game we all would have wanted, which is everything that you would want from a space game being an important aspect, like doing the space pirate stuff, the exploration stuff. The ship customization stuff looks really cool. That's what I'm super excited about. Like recruiting the crew. Yeah, I am really into it. I am very like super all in on Starfield right now.
Yeah, easily like of the games I saw and didn't necessarily play, Starfield is by far the one I'm most excited about. It is just, I mean, who knows if it's going to deliver, but based on what we know, it looks incredible. And go ahead.
Can I talk about frame rate?
Oh yeah, let's do it. Yeah, I have it listed here as a subhead of this game. Let's talk about it. So it's 4K 30 locked on Xbox Series X and 1440p 30 on Xbox Series S. I was trying to tell you, and I still think it was fine of you to like be like, it should be 60. It needs to be 60.
Sure.
It's not going to be 60. So how are you feeling now?
Like, look, get it. I am disappointed. I get it. Like, I'm not like, I don't believe them or like they're liars or something like that. I get it. But look, I just like 60 frames per second a lot more. And in general, it's kind of this bummer to me of, oh man, like my hope that this was just going to be a pure 60 FPS console generation is just, that's not happening. Yeah. Like because, with like Redfall or some of these other things, it's like, well, those games were disasters. That's why that happened.
Sure.
And now it's like, oh no, that's just how this is going to be.
I mean, Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Can't really hit 60, not in any real way. And it's Unreal Engine 4. I get it. Like, obviously, there's going to be some improvements, but I think those improvements will come and as they like also take. There will be a give and take, and they're like, yeah, okay, we got a little bit more power here because Unreal Engine 5 is a little bit more efficient, better at open worlds or whatever. That just means we could do more, and we're gonna do more because we have to do more to compete with all these other games that are getting bigger. Have you fucking seen Starfield? It is. The 60 frames per second, like guarantee for this generation, definitely over. I think more games will be 60 frames per second than not for the most part. but a lot of these big games are going to be 30 frames per second going forward, starting right now.
And right, it's just, I do like consoles, and I like to, play on a couch of console. That's how I did most of my gaming for a very long time. And it is just kind of this like feeling of I really am going to become more and more of a Switch PC kind of guy. It just makes sense. And it's kind of almost unfair because Xbox is so much better about day and date PC and console releases. I'm like thinking less and less about their console. Like PlayStation, there's value there because it takes forever for their PC ports, which is technically them being shitty about it, but it makes me like care more about their box. Right?
Yeah, I mean, and you heard Phil, he doesn't care. He doesn't care. No. He's like, yeah, we're growing on PC super fast, and it's a market just like anything else. And so, yeah, I'm going to play it on PC as well. I saw that show and most of those things. I'm like, I'll play it on PC.
You 4090 son of a bitch.
Yeah, 4090 son of a bitch right here, and I'm very excited. You think it'll run
60 on my 3070 Ti? I don't know. Probably not.
Yeah. You'll be able to get it to.
I guess at the Fadangle things.
Fadangle things a little bit. The 3070 Ti is going to be It's going to be powerful enough. So the consoles are like 2070 Supers, maybe 2080s, kind of depending on what day of the week it is.
Yeah, I guess. Again, like I understand some people like are reacting like so strongly, like 30 FPS is fine. Anyone who says otherwise is nuts, because there's a lot of bad faith people making too big a deal out of it. I get it. Look, I think everybody would have preferred 60 frames per second.
Oh, of course.
And again, it is just a bummer. Like, oh man. This console generation that's a part of the problem, is that this console generation still feels new somehow because games take so long to make.
We haven't really had the full year of, like, they just stopped making games for Xbox One. The Xbox One, which no one was asking them to support anymore. No one gave a shit. They just stopped doing that. And that's really the reality of the situation of the kinds of games we were getting. They were games made for the Xbox One, or designed in the same exact way, because they were just continuing their budgets and they're using all the same tools. So even if like a game came out exclusively for these new consoles, they weren't changing a lot of stuff to like take advantage of the new consoles. That is going to change, and those performance budgets will shift pretty drastically here pretty soon. But
look, like what they were showing at whatever frame rate that was, I think 30 frames per second seemed kind of variable. It didn't seem steady. Sure. But even whatever they were showing, it looked very good. There was definitely, especially the animation looked a lot better. Maybe not so much when you're like talking to a person. That was still very Bethesda.
Oh yeah. It's still a Bethesda thing. They're still using whatever their tools are called for that, and it looks better than it's ever looked, but it still looks familiar. Gamebryo? Gamebryo.
Combat animations looked way better. A lot of things still looked smoother and what have you. But yeah, it's like, okay, even though I just bought this controller for it, I am probably playing this on a PC with keyboard and mouse. But yeah, Creation Engine. Thank you, Mitchell. It looks amazing. Unless like some disaster happens. And look, I mean, their last big release was Fallout 76, and that was a disaster. And Fallout 4, I know, like, I don't want to call you Defender. You like it. It was a popular game, but
I'm a Defender. I love that game. I love it.
Okay, that's weird.
It's weird. Everyone thinks it's weird, but I love it. Yes.
Okay. Fallout 4 was disappointing to some people for specific
a lot of people.
reasons.
That's fine. Both things can be true. I love it, and it's disappointing to a lot of people.
It was. So, but even still, I am optimistic about Starfield. It looks like a game that was given a lot of extra time to bake in the oven, and I'm hoping it's going to feel like that when we got it.
I didn't make Fallout 4, Mike. You don't have to be so like kid gloves around me. Like, all right, I just like
respect you too much, Jeff. I don't want to come at you here. Like, even our chat, though, like right now, that's a polarizing game, because there are some people who are like, it's mid, and
Bethesda's a polarizing developer because they took Fallout and did a lot of stuff with it that Fallout was, not known for before Bethesda. It's a whole thing.
I guess even Fallout 3, to me, Fallout 3 was such this big turning point in me liking Western RPGs more, but I don't know.
But people are like, it's not New Vegas.
Gets all the love now.
Yeah, exactly. Right? Yeah, exactly. So, Starfield, and just to go back to 30 frames per second, we ran a poll for Game S Mornings, which did you hear that? Did you finish the episode?
Yeah, I was surprised, but because most people said they don't care.
Right.
If it's 30 frames per second. I think you're right that maybe some of that is just that game looking so good.
Definitely.
That they don't, but I don't know. Maybe, maybe everyone was telling me before that most people don't care about frame rate, and I was being stubborn, saying they did. Maybe I'm wrong. I can admit it. But
I think it's like anything. We focus on cinema sins, like, oh, look at this loophole, because actually the movie's not delivering on other things you actually care about. Like, it's that sort of thing.
Right. I mean, and then some people are like, well, no one cared that Zelda was at 3 frames per second. And like, yeah,
goddamn
right.
I don't. Yeah.
And obviously there's a difference in hardware there that is a factor here. But yeah, hey, if Starfield is as good as Tears of the Kingdom, I will not care too much.
Exactly.
For sure.
Yes, for real. If that is the bar we're talking about, then sure, it could be fucking 24 frames per second. I don't give a shit. All right, so I do have a list of games here that I put down. Mike, feel free to throw in anything that comes to mind as we're going through here. We both played Prince of Persia, The Fallen King. Is that the name? I think it's The Fallen King.
I can't remember. I'm just calling it Prince of Persia.
That's what I'm doing it too. That's what I wrote down here.
This fucking rules.
It fucking rules.
Good. And you know what's great too? Like first, I played the demo twice. Once on like some console or PC, and then again on Switch.
Yep.
No difference.
No difference.
And it's silky 60 FPS on Switch. Just play it on Switch. But this is very much like that sort of 3D, 2D Metroidvania style that we got with Metroid Dread. And we also experienced not too long ago again with the Game S Game Club with that Strider reboot a few years back. Those games both felt great, and this is very similar. It's super fun, a lot of cool abilities, interesting combat, great platforming. There's a cool boss at the end that I beat on the first try and was told I was a very special boy for being able to do that by Ubisoft, and I choose to believe them.
Oh yeah, I think you were. I think I mean, I definitely got close, and then I beefed it because I just was throwing myself at it because I had him down to a sliver, and then Patrick beat him before me, and so I tried to like rush it, and of course died. But that I mean, it's a good boss fight in terms of like making you feel cool.
It's so fun.
Yeah, nailing those parries and then nailing the blocks on like the tail swipe.
Right, that parry system. That I mean, we have that in Dread. There's a lot of Metroid Dread here, really, and just Metroid Dread more melee combat and oof. I'm into this. Is a great direction for Prince of Persia, I think. If they're not going to invest in doing a AAA style Sands of Time game again,
which, they're not going to when they have Assassin's Creed right there. I think. I mean,
Assassin's Creed is kind of that lineage, and they tried. Prince of Persia, they had that reboot on the 360 that no one liked at the time. Oddly, suddenly everyone seems to like that again. I don't know where that came from. I played that. That is one of the most. I played that whole game and remember almost nothing about it games of my life, but sure. And then they did they unrebooted the series after that. Remember the Forgotten Sands?
Yep.
Remember the Forgotten Sands? That's funny. But I'm really into this. This is definitely one of the best games I played at the show.
I think of the games I played, it's probably number one. Probably with maybe the exception of Mortal Kombat 1, which
Mortal Kombat
just
1
owns bones. So much fun.
Super fun.
We all started playing and we all immediately were having the best time playing against each other. It was really good. You lost 3 times in a row to Emma, which I feel like pointing out. Yep, absolutely.
Thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah, I just want to keep you honest for sure. Yeah,
it is super fun though. I mean, that cameo fighter thing. Like when I saw that, I was like, oh, so assist like from Marvel vs. Capcom 1. Why are they make a big deal of this? It is more than that because you can do different moves with them, and it's really good. Well, it's really interesting because like the different characters have different strengths. Like Jax had all these anti-air abilities you can call him for.
So did Sonya.
And Sonya also had this kind of combo starter or extender where she like can kind of do this sort of like throw thing with her legs, and then it kind of lifts them in the air for juggling.
Yeah.
And the game seems pretty juggle heavy, which is a lot of fun. But like you can even use the cameos to do things like throws. They help with those X-ray attacks or fatal blows are called now. You can even do a fatality with the cameo character. So, like, when we were going into it, I was like, oh, they're going to be in trouble because if they announce a cameo character and they're not playable, people will be mad. It'll be like the trophy assist in Smash Brothers. And there might be a little bit of that, but I don't like not as much. It's actually pretty big. Like,
and they explain the difference like between like the main roster character is going to be the new identity of these classic characters. And then the cameo characters will be the throwback versions. So Sonya's in her Mortal Kombat 2 outfit and stuff like that. Mortal Kombat 1 outfit, and then
it wasn't playable in 2. Remember, she was in that stage,
right? Who was in there?
Kano.
So was it Kano?
Everybody was in there. Well, Jax is in Mortal Kombat 1.
Okay, so then it was Jax. That's who I was thinking of. Then yes. But so we had as cameo characters Jax, Kano, Sonya, and then who else was the fourth one? Or did we only have the 3?
There were only 3 cameos,
right,
and the playable characters were Kenshi, Scorpion, Liu Kang, and Katana, and they were all super fun. What I really like though is the color palette of this game is actually a bit kind of brighter and just a bit more colorful in a way that's like, again, it's not like Diablo 3 with the rainbow, but just looks distinct. And the stages were like really cool. There's that kind of like that bar set somewhere in the east. I wasn't really sure where. That was the vibe I got from it though. And then like Johnny Cage's mansion with his indoor pool.
Yep.
It just looks so cool.
I had a good time. I had a really good time with it. It was I maybe played for 10, 15 minutes maybe, and every single match was competitive, and we were pulling off fun stuff, and it was great to figure out how to do Sonya Blade's a DDT, and it was like, oh yeah, I'll just do this over and over because it just looks so
basically
good.
almost a straight up RKO. To be honest.
Yeah,
like,
for real.
Jumps with it and everything.
Yeah, she jumps with it. Yeah, absolutely. It's fantastic. I was really having a good time with it. So that's actually probably my most anticipated game I played. And
very good.
Yeah, I
did get the interview at Boone, which was really fun. Like, because I just had interview from Mortal Kombat 1 slotted, and then it actually was of Ed Boon, so that was cool.
That's fun. So yeah, I haven't had a chance to read it because I've been like so busy traveling. What did he say? Like, any insights?
A lot of interesting things to say that you should read on GamesBeat.com. But after like the official interview, I was like, hey, when's you're gonna put my boy Smoke in here? And I'm not gonna say what he said, but I'm feeling pretty good, Jeff.
Okay. Did he
feeling good?
Did he give you like some body language or something? Like,
give me just, I can't even remember exactly, but the way he did it, whatever he did, he didn't say yes. He didn't say yes.
Sure, but he didn't say no.
What he did, I was walking out of there like, Smoke's gonna be in there.
Yeah, getting that smoke.
Let's fucking. Well, where there's fire, there's smoke.
Okay, Star Wars Outlaws looks very good.
It looks really. I mean, we got like the CG reveal at Xbox, whatever. Yep. Then we got that longer gameplay reveal at Ubisoft. Yeah, absolutely, 1,000,000%. I am into this.
I was happy with a lot of Ubisoft show. This game looked way better than I was ever expecting. It is a scoundrel game, something I've always wanted. We never have really had a real Han Solo simulator. What's up?
They've been trying to do like a more scoundrel-based game forever, and it just hasn't happened. Yeah, when's the last time we had one? Dark Forces. I mean, I guess Shadows of the Empire.
Kinda.
It's
Dash Rendar.
Dash Rendar. It's been a long time, and this game just looks really pretty. This main character, I forget her, Kay something.
Kay Vess.
I think she has the greatest hair in the world.
Yep, and she's got the greatest sidekick, that little alien pet, that little Stitch.
And she's got a little Stitch. You're right. You can kind of send him off to do things and whatnot. And what they showed too, it wasn't just an Ubisoft game, right?
No,
it's an open world
much going
game.
on. Yes, it's from the Division team. It's from Massive. It's not just everyone was like, oh, they'll do like Mandalorians, and they'll just make a division with Mandalorians, which whatever, that would have been fine. This is not that at all.
It's more ambitious than I was expecting.
Yes,
because we saw their Avatar game too, and I am actually excited for the Avatar game.
It's on my list here. Yeah.
But that is very much
it's Far Cry
with Avatar.
Yep.
I'm like, sure.
Yeah, that sounds good to me. 7 out of 10. Let's fucking go.
Yeah, you said Far Cry and Pandora. And it looks like Pandora from the movies. Yeah, I think that might actually be good enough. It's not going to get you a 9 out of 10 or a 10 out of 10, maybe.
7 out of 10 Avatar game? Yeah, of course.
Maybe an 8 out of 10.
Yeah,
if
maybe.
I had an 8 out of 10 Avatar game, I'd be so happy.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, that would be a huge win for that.
Yeah. So I was actually pretty happy with that.
Could be really good. I mean, it seems like it could be a big boy game of the year contender if it really all came together, maybe. So it's that's really high, that's high expectations, but I think what they showed is the kinds of games we don't really get anymore unless they are like a big licensed thing, and they're taking that Star Wars license and doing a lot of fun stuff with it. I think I was a little thrown off, like, oh, they're doing like the Pike Syndicate, which is all that weird stuff from Solo. But I think it's fine. It's actually not
from Solo. That's
funny.
Yeah,
there's stuff in Solo with the Pike Syndicate.
Solo's still canon. But hey, I mean, speaking of Dash Rendar, the speeder bike stuff, that looks awesome. I'm so excited for that.
Yep, getting in your ship, and then she flew through the atmosphere right into space. It was seamless, just like,
and like the actual space combat stuff too,
space
right?
Combat
like, it's not going to be full on, like Rogue Leader, but still, just having some of that. That's
just making that seamless experience feel like, even if it's like feels kind of like a mini game in between the main stuff. That's fine for the most part.
It won't feel as egregiously like a mini game as it does in KOTOR.
Yes,
right?
exactly.
Where it was literally just a turret sequence,
or a Kingdom Hearts with the gummy ship or whatever it is. I'm kind of blown away by that game. I think it's also one that I'm coming out of this. Honestly, this has been a really good year for announcements in terms of being an E3 or an E3 like. Just what we've talked about so far has been really good, and there's quite a few more to go. I thought Fable also looked really good.
Yeah, I mean, hey, by the way, I told you it was Fable. They were going to show. You had some doubts still.
I had some doubts, yeah, but I heard about a week before that in Persona 3 remake, and then
I could tell when you switched, but yeah. But,
yep, I was like, oh, clearly going to be there. So
it's Fable. Oh, but the main character's so ugly.
How am I supposed to factor this? Yeah.
I mean, people do know you make your own character in Fable, right?
No, of course not. People are just fucking weird. That was a fun trailer. There was, it started off with the cinematic, but there's actually, when I watched it again, quite a bit of stuff that looks like gameplay, and so it was all in engine at the very least. I mean, that's what the thing said, I think, at the bottom. It's
did
impressive.
This one have a 2024 or not? Most of them did. I forget.
No, it said it's coming in due time, I think is what it said.
Okay, so this one is maybe, yeah. So you're right in terms of it, yeah, maybe being further away than some of these other things.
It's pretty far off. Yes, it's pretty far off. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's fine. I mean, it looks like they have a handle on it. They're doing a good job of having the Fable humor. Like, it is a silly game. You're kicking chickens, but maybe not being. It's hard to get too much of a sense of it from just this trailer. Maybe not being super obnoxious about it.
Yeah,
I think they know what they're doing.
Yeah, it seems like it's in good hands. And I think that, the bit of the giant and run around his place, that's a fun idea for a gameplay mechanic and for opportunities for humor. And they obviously have the comedian, the guy from the IT crowd in there being the giant.
Yeah, and I love, like, this literally, we're literally doing Jack and the Beanstalk. Like, that's the kind of fantasy thing we are here. We are not like Game of Thrones. We're the opposite.
Yeah, we're doing like nursery rhymes and things like that, which is like, yeah, let's go. That's fantastic. Armored Core 6, did not play it. Saw a stage demo with a theater demo, where someone did play it in front of me, and it looks real good. It definitely has post from Soulsborne inspirations to an extent, and that just means like the stagger mechanic and the lock on is very aggressive in a way
potions.
Potions, Estus flasks basically. There you have 3 repair kits you use by using up on the D-pad. And that means almost certainly there are going to be bonfire equivalents throughout these levels. Now, this is not a
open world game,
not an open world, not even a connected world game, right? It's
levels.
It's levels.
Missions.
It's missions, exactly. But I bet there's still going to be sort of checkpoints throughout where you refill your flasks and stuff. But it's clearly still just Armored Core. The focus is on customizing your Armored Core and adding different weapons for different scenarios. So if you are going to go into a thing where it's like a lot of close quarters combat, you just put 4 fucking shotguns on your shoulders and just go in there, and every button is just going to destroy the enemy. You could do that if you want. It looks really good. I think the way that the Armored Core moves around looks really aggressive and probably the best part of the game.
Great.
Yes, it's just this big, fat vehicle just shooting forward because of its jets. Like clearly the guy was like pushing the stick in, and it was just lurching forward, and then he'd move to the right, and instead of like doing the animated smooth motion to the right, it's like, nope, we're just strafing as fast as we can in that direction, and it feels like big and heavy. It looks really, really fun. I'm gonna try to play some Armored Core before this. And everyone always recommends, I think, not 5, but the one before that. I think
there's like 3. There's like 5. Like 5 has like a subtitle, like expandalone that people like or something.
Yes,
I forget.
I'm gonna try a bunch of them, and then I'll pick one to actually like really play. I think.
Yeah, the freaks will tell you which one. Like, I also never played them. I've been watching some videos about it. It looks really fun. But yeah,
I might play the PlayStation 1 game a little bit because it looks good. I like that PS1 look.
For the answer is, I think For the Answer and 3 for PlayStation 1 was still PlayStation 1. I forget. But I saw the same theater demo and was also just really impressed with how slick, how much fun it looked. Like, there's clearly some Elden Ring money in this thing, right?
I mean, in terms of the art design, it's one of the best looking games I saw. It just and those levels look huge, and the verticality was really impressive. There's a lot of cool stuff. Yeah.
I'm sorry, we'll get to super chats later, but someone's losing it over there. It's very good. But yeah, no, I'm like, just again, this is August. I am very excited. I can't wait to play it. That's insane. Couple months. It's
because we didn't get to play it, and because it's coming out in August. I bet they're gonna like plan it, and because it's like From and Bandai Namco coming off a big win at Elden Ring. I bet there's like a big thing here coming up soon where they're really gonna blow that game out and give people a chance to play it and stuff like that. So hopefully that does happen.
Can we talk about another Xbox game next?
Yeah, what's up?
What do you think about Avowed? Because Avowed seemed to maybe fly a little under the radar with Starfield kind of being a similar, much bigger, more imminent thing. And I've seen some people say that kind of looks okay. What did you think of Avowed?
I think I felt much better about it after the extended showcase where they talked about it and kind of explained their thinking.
I didn't see that. I think I was streaming.
Yeah. So my understanding is that they kind of realized that Microsoft now owns Skyrim, so we don't need to make our own Skyrim, which was the original plan. And instead of doing that, they're like, we're going to go, instead of like big and wide, we're going to go deep on the mechanics we like at Obsidian. And I think that is probably the right choice. It sounds like it's about the same size as the Outer Worlds. That's probably also the right choice. And I think that's fine. The game's coming out in 2024. A game like getting announced and actually coming out in a reasonable amount of time, if that means it needs to like look a little bit slighter, I think I'm okay with that, especially when there are so many other options from the same company.
Yeah, I mean, I wish it looked a little bit better, right? I mean,
sure.
Again, it's the Microsoft game. I wish there's a bit more, maybe like a Microsoft glow up there, as opposed to it looking basically kind of like what Outer Worlds did.
Yeah.
But hey, I like the Outer Worlds. I like Bethesda's games when they do them in this style. I think this is going to be a lot of fun. I'm into it, but I also kind of understand where some people are coming from, maybe not feeling like it was the best showing for it.
I mean, speaking of glow up, I think the biggest jump from their last game to this game in terms of budget being on the screen, In Exile, Clockwork Revolution, which is that BioShock Infinite looking game.
I wish it was a little bit less looking. It looks a lot like BioShock Infinite.
I wish exactly it was like BioShock Infinite.
Like,
yeah.
I mean, God, I get it that BioShock Infinite doesn't own like steampunk, but this is so much like that to a point where it's a little distracting that I wish somebody said, hey, maybe we should find some ways to differentiate this from this other very famous game. But I am still, excited for it. I think, In Exile's are obviously a very good team.
It's it's just wild that like In Exile's making it, and it is, I don't know, like fucking 2K's been working on a BioShock game for forever, and this team's just going to put out one that looks like, for people who are fans of that, looks like another one of those. So it's weird. I don't know if it's for me. I think BioShock Infinite was a fine game. The game that I've like been fine with ever since I played at the time. It was like, I'm really into this. And now afterwards, I'm like, I think I'm fine. But it looks really nice. It looks expensive for an In Exile game is what I keep coming back to.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously a bit more to it than a Wasteland 3 for sure.
Yep. Let's see here. I got other stuff. I think Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty looked really nice. Looked really good.
Some people played this, not me, and they were really into it. I'm very happy I somehow still never played Cyberpunk. So,
oh, really? So are you going to give it a chance this time?
Oh, yeah, when this, because like there's an update to the main game coming out as part of this, so I could
just
just
feels like the
that.
definitive edition.
Right. So I can play that with all that stuff and then do this expansion if I feel so inclined. So it's all working out for me.
Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth probably had one of the funnest trailers. They're going to Hawaii.
I like Hawaii. I like things like set in Hawaii, so I think that's fun. Different setting change. Plus, maybe you'll see his dick.
Yeah, I hope we see his dick.
They should just do that. Do we see? We don't see actual like just dangling dicks too often in games, still, right?
No, just a couple. I mean, there's that Rockstar DLC where they had some dick.
Yeah, you're right. The Ballad of Gay Tony.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know if we saw Gay Tony's dick, but we saw someone's dick.
Okay, as long as we saw somebody's dick, that's fine.
I don't know. Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth looks really fun. I don't know. I guess we just want to talk about the dicks. That's we're dick heavy podcast here.
Okay, what was a little surprising and underwhelming, even for people like us who don't really care about it, was Hellblade 2's showing.
Yeah, I guess. I mean,
what was that?
I don't know. I don't even remember it.
I thought it was gonna be time for the real big like gameplay, like show me the UI, even show it like somebody.
It's coming out in 2024. I don't know if they're gonna show the UI. It probably has a minimal UI, right?
It probably does, but like I was expecting like a chunk of gameplay instead of an even more cryptic, just kind of story beat. And it was like the most story beat. Yeah, she's just walking through a cave and then she like looks at a reflection and her voices in her head go off and.
Yeah, that's weird, huh? Was there anything more at the extended? I don't know.
Maybe, I don't know. I thought we were going to see more from that.
Hellblade was never my thing, so I think...
It was never my thing, too, but...
You're right. Well, I immediately followed this away in, okay, and then forgot about it.
I think that's how a lot of people thought. It just... Yeah, I think we all thought that this was kind of like the next one, honestly, after...
Well, I think it still might be. Starfield. It's coming out in 2024. Maybe Avowed comes out first, actually. That'd be cool.
I would hope so, but I don't know.
But we'll see. Let's see. Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora. We talked a little bit about that, but I saw the presentation at that Ubisoft thing and thought it looks really. I think it looks fun. I think it looks good. I think it's going to be a good game.
Yeah, I mean, I poo-pooed Far Cry before. Even though this isn't the Far Cry team, this is Massive, who is, I think, a better team. I think they are going to have some more interesting twists in there. And again, just, playing as in this world is going to be inherently more interesting. Getting your Ekron and being able to fly, that's going to be really fun. Yep. I like the way it kind of does go, zooms out into that third person thing when you're doing that. And there's just going to be so much verticality inherent in that world that I hope they can translate. I hope I can go swim with the water people. I better be able to. I want to make some whale friends, man.
I don't think so this takes place on a new continent, the Western Frontier, I think they said.
They got to have their own water people, though, maybe.
Well, what I think is probably going to happen is if the game does well enough, they'll do DLC that has water people.
Give me that water DLC,
Yeah, baby. I would pay for it. Absolutely. Give me let me swim the Tokun. I'm serious. I would pay
Tokunto.
I would pay $50 for that DLC. Fucking give me those Tokun. I fucking love that. Those goddamn space whales.
Way of Water's so freaking good.
Can't believe they delayed the next movie. I'm legit so sad.
Oh, it's gonna be so good.
So sad.
Fire people. How good is that fire gonna look though?
Oh, it's gonna look real good.
Freaking go.
I got a whole bunch of other stuff here. Just some highlights. Sea of Thieves, The Legend of Monkey Island content.
Yeah.
That looks so much fun. I'm so ready to check out that game again.
Yeah, we tried that Pirates of the Caribbean stuff, and it was kind of fun. It was a good excuse to do this. But Monkey Island, they just got all the popular pirate stuff in this now. Going to Melee Island, they even got Dominic Armato, the voice of Guybrush in there. This is a full-on Monkey Island thing.
Yep.
I am super ready for it. I'm very excited.
South of Midnight, which had kind of a cinematic. That was the
Is that the Bayou one?
Is the Compulsion one? Is the Bayou where the black lady comes out and she's like, "What's going on?" And the big guy, the dead guy playing the guitar, I think, comes up behind her, and it's got that on the This
is very stylized. Almost a little too stylized for me. I have no idea what this actually is.
Listen, I think if the game looks like that, which is possible because they said that was an engine, I think that's cool. I'm hopeful. Yeah, it's got stop motion vibes. It has on the twos vibes of Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. It's actually what they're going for.
Okay.
And
I think a lot of people are going for that these days.
Yeah, and I think it's a good call. It's a good look, and it looks very, very good. If that's what it's going to end up looking like. You're right. It's so stylized, it's hard to tell. But I kind of want to give them the benefit of the doubt, at least in terms of them. That's what they're going for. Who knows if it actually the final product looks that good? But it's got an interesting style and an interesting subject matter. It's about people of color from the American South, something that we just don't get a lot of. So that was pretty neat. And then Jusant, which is that climbing game, that stylized climbing game. I like the climbing game.
I always forget. I see Jusant, and I was like, oh yeah, that's something that was announced. Which one was that? Yeah, this is Uncharted. Oops, all climbing.
Yes, sure. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Sure. Sonic Superstars.
Hey, Sonic, the Sonic game we all thought was happening.
Did you play this?
I did play this. It was hard to get a read on it because there was some input lag on my setup, which I think was, again, a TV.
I think that's the Switch and TV. Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a lot of stuff happening, a lot of switches set up.
Right.
And the Switch is really prone to having controller lag if you don't have the almost direct line of sight. You don't have to have line of sight. But boy, my kids run in front of me, and I notice it sometimes when I'm 10 feet away.
Right. And there's some stuff here where, some of the technical stuff, the scrolling didn't feel super great. Sometimes the camera was zoomed in a little too much.
Definitely zoomed in pretty close. Yeah. That gets to me as an old man. That's why
it's a Sonic game. You're moving fast.
Yeah. Some people really like Sonic Advance, and that was zoomed in. But
those are children.
Yeah.
Children at the time.
Children. Exactly.
Sonic Advance is fine. But no, I generally was pretty happy with it. I think there's some cool stuff here, like how when you get a Chaos Emerald, you get a special power related to it. So it's not just all or nothing with Chaos Emeralds, where either you're getting Supersonic, you're getting nothing. I'm a big fan of Knack the Weasel / Fang the Sniper. I think they actually went with Fang the Sniper as his real name now.
Yeah, sounds like that's what they have. Fang. They did go with Fang. Is what?
It's Fang. I think they're keeping the sniper part for obvious reasons. But yeah, I like that little asshole from the Game Gear games. That's good.
It is from our Zest, or developed by our Zest,
our favorite developer.
Yeah, developer that worked with Yuji Naka on Balan Wonderworld. They're now working with the Sonic team on this. That is not necessarily some death warrant. They're going to be as good as the resources that are given to them. and they are working with the physics engine that Christian Whitehead and his team made for Sonic Mania. People did a comparison between this and Sonic Mania for like Sonic running down a cliff and and it's like spot on, exactly the same. Christian Whitehead was also pretty coy about that. He said he'll talk more about it when he can. Clearly, he is involved in some way.
Interesting, because I thought maybe he wasn't involved at all. So that's comforting to know that he is.
Exactly.
Sure.
So good news for Sonic Superstars. And then Persona 5 Tactics. It's like the last one I have listed for me.
All this Persona stuff, really. I mean,
yeah, but for me it was Tactics. So, but yes, all the Persona stuff. Metaphor Ray Fantasio.
Yeah, fantasy Persona.
Yes, fantasy Persona. The Path of the Goddess looked good as well. That Capcom's kind of weird Onimusha successor in some ways.
I don't know if I was into that.
You didn't like the color, but you were like it was too many colors. I think that
there's too many colors.
I think you're wrong. I think it's actually more carefully chosen than you're realizing, and you will regret your words and deeds when you play the final final game. Excuse me.
Okay, we'll see then. It didn't stick with me, but yeah, I mean, look, if Metaphor whatever is like as good as a Persona 5, and it looks a lot like Persona 5 down to the menus and stuff, hey, I can go for that. The Persona 3 remake is interesting because, it looks really good, and I'm glad that game's getting a glow up. It needs one. I think a lot of people are thrown off by it not having the Fez expansion content or the female main character choice. It's like, I think maybe people can understand if you had one or the other. I think not having either of those is rough.
It's like, what are we? Is you gonna sell that to me later? Is that what people are thinking?
Right. And I almost get it with like Fez is basically a whole like new campaign. It's a lot, I understand, but again, like Fez hasn't been available for so long. I think that would have really gotten people excited if you put it in there, or at least say it's coming later. Even if you tell people they have to buy it later, they might still be at least excited it is coming. I'm mostly okay with it. I'm a normie who played Persona 3 all the way through the first time on the portable version just as the male character. So just having that experience again, but with like a much better presentation, I will still have a good time.
Yeah, and it's I think it's going to be a chance for a lot of people to actually play it and really experience Persona 3, since Persona 5 was so popular, and the series has grown so much. People probably did consider going back to Persona 3, but now that it's like up to snuff in a lot of ways, I bet most people would be happy with it.
Yeah, there's a pretty clear path here too. You can just have this team remake Persona 4. Why not?
There was some thunder outside.
I heard it. Oh, I heard it over here too. Wait, we're not hearing the same thunder.
That doesn't seem possible.
Did you hear my thunder?
Maybe. I don't think so. I felt it, I think, but I don't know. I suppose it's possible.
The Tactics game, I bet they'll be fun. It does have a bit of a hardcore spin-off vibe to it. Like, here's the chibi characters.
Yeah.
And it's going to have a story that, is very side story and doesn't really matter. Like we've seen with Persona Q and like the dancing games and stuff like that, and the fighting games even. Whatever. It could be fun.
Yeah. Not surprising, though, that they are continuing to do spin-offs, because they do a lot of those.
Oh, sure.
And this is a good idea for one.
Yeah, they did a zillion Persona 4 spinoffs before they got the 5. They're now doing a million Persona 5 spinoffs. And, it does feel like a Persona 6 is longer way than we thought with this stuff coming, and, again, that fantasy Persona game, right? So this should tie people over a bit.
Right. All right. That's what I have written down here, Mike. I guess overall, how are you feeling about the games announced?
I feel like pretty good, kind of things that stood out. It is funny how quickly things can sort of shift after a good show, right? Like it was doom and gloom for Microsoft. Then they have this.
It is that light switch. Yep. Just
it's like, oh,
life back to life. Yep. It was a good event. A lot of it will come down to, because for this year, Microsoft really just does have Forza and Starfield. The games that both those games were supposed to come out in the last year, that they were already supposed to be out. So it's like, okay, you are pushing other things back clearly, because these games are still coming. So I guess you're lucky that happened. But Starfield looks so big, so expansive in scope.
It looks like the game.
It looks like the game. So if that game hits, they are going to get a lot of leeway for quite some time, I think, to set up the next big game after that. And I think if that's Hellblade or Avowed, I think both those games will kind of get a bit of a rub where it's like, well, I'm still playing Starfield in a lot of ways, so this other distraction here that's not quite as massive, that's kind of nice. And then they got a lot of games that they didn't show. Perfect Dark,
Ultraman.
Yes, there's a lot of stuff that like still in the hopper. We will probably hear about some of those before the end of this year. Most of those probably they'll save for next E3 though. So
I imagine, yeah.
Nat Booty was like, "Oh, there's a bunch of stuff like on our couch." He said, "There's a bunch of other places on the calendar where we could talk about this stuff." I don't think necessarily that means we're going to hear about Perfect Dark before next E3, but yeah, I don't know. Overall, I've been really happy because there's just so many games I want to play. It's
we're playing so many games right now, and somehow it still feels like this year is just going to continue to be pretty nuts. Again, we have Pikmin, Final Fantasy 16, and Armored Core like imminent, and then not too long after that, you are going to have Starfield and Alan Wake 2 and Mortal Kombat 1. It's just there's a ton of amazing games still coming out this year, and like 2024, it looks like it's going to have some promise with things like the Star Wars game and some of this other stuff Microsoft's showing off. I'm hopeful.
Yeah, me too. I'm like checking the gamer browser to see if it's updated.
Oh God!
You're like,
please don't.
Yeah, it doesn't. It just goes through the first part of September.
I was holding it, but now you're talking about the gamer browser. Why don't we take a break?
Fae
we
Farm.
can come back.
Yeah, man.
We can read some
September
super chats.
6th. Is just real quick? Is Starfield doing that early thing where if you buy the special version, you get it like a couple days early?
Starfield, I don't know if they are.
I'm just trying to. I'm trying to run out the clock here because you got to go pee.
I really have to go pee. I'm just going.
We'll be back, everybody. Thanks for listening to us so far. We'll be back after this to talk about what you think about Summer Game Fest and to answer all your super chats, which have been coming in hot and heavy. If you have a super chat, send it in now. We'll get to it right after these messages. Little piss baby over there. Am I right?
Beer is a great podcasting beverage. It's an excellent choice.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
It's not my fault that he's this way. I didn't tell him to drink that.
What was I about to say? Oh, yeah. One versus, yeah. We say yerba. We don't say yerba in Buenos Aires. That's why my homie was saying yerba.
Shadova?
Yeah.
Oh, so like a V? Shadova?
Sherba, yeah.
Okay, Sherba mate. Okay, I was saying Sherba mate.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
You sort of put your tongue into the BV thing. That's what's going on.
Okay, Sherba.
Not
that much. That was way too much. Sherba. Yeah, that was way too much tongue. Yeah. I tell you what, I drank some today. I think
pretty good.
I didn't get the Rosa Monte. What is the good brand?
Rosa Monte.
Oh, yeah,
that's the brand.
I just ordered some of that actually, separate. Yeah, that's the one everyone.
Oh my God.
Yeah. You okay?
I just
you just evacuated the bladder. You feeling much better?
Okay. A lot.
You can put like you can sweet that stuff if you want it. But if you like it like.
I drink unsweetened iced tea a lot, and it's very similar to that.
Enough about your wood tea. Let's get back to the show.
I like to drink wood. Wow. I drink the wood. Okay, hang on. Let me get this Discord up. It's right here. It's already muted.
I'm recording with OBS to see how the recording comes out. So like next time we just
I
should record it from here. I just want to hear the music how it comes out.
That's a good idea.
That's it, Papa.
We are on June 15th. Contributions. Okay. Yeah, all right. This is fun. This is good. These are some good good things from the community. I like this. We'll come back and we'll do super chats. Does that sound good, Mike?
Let's do it.
All right. We're back. We're going to get to what our community, our podcast producers thought about Summer Game Fest. They have a lot, and the stuff that we did as well. They have some comments on that, which I appreciate. We'll get to all of that in a second. I want to start with the super chats though, Mike. We got a few of those. Why don't we answer those?
Yes, absolutely. I think this first one might be our friend Xbox Killer, but the name is Flew the Lou Crew 9183. Jeff, please tell Xbox to fix Fable, please. Main character is so bad.
Okay, yeah. I listen. Right after I got done, I was like, Phil, I'm not horny for this character, and he's like, Jeff, please leave me alone. I have to go. And I'm like, no. And then I brought Matt Booty over, and I was like, Matt Booty, you understand? You get it? And he looked at me. He said, yeah, I get it.
Did any sane person watch that ever think this? Because this did not occur to me.
I thought she looks cool. I think she looks legit cool in that trailer.
I was super like a person.
Into it.
It's fine.
Absolutely. She looks like a person, and I was super into it.
I don't know. It's weird. Nintendo says, great work with the Giant Bomb content. You have great interviewing skills, Jeff. How did you go about practicing those skills for the event?
I deal with this jerk off every week.
There you go.
It was a lot of fun to just kind of like get people on there and ask stuff that I cared about. That was the key. That was the secret.
Thrax says, "Hey guys, just wanted to let Mike know I've been on a Mega Man binge. I just started up 9 and I've been enjoying them all except 7. Yeah, 7's definitely one of the worst ones.
Which one's the PlayStation graphics one? The one
that's 8.
8. I kind of like 8.
I like 8. 7 was the only Super Nintendo one, and it's just like clearly worse than Mega Man X, right?
Sure, okay.
So it's still Mega Man games, so fine. Man, I'm like really decked out of Mega Man stuff. I got my shirt on, got my Mega Man 11 fabric cloth thing. I
got my Link's Awakening shirt. I'm gonna show mine off since
cool.
You're showing yours off. There you go.
We did get kind of a Mega Man announcement at the Capcom thingy. It was just that mobile game coming over.
Yeah, okay.
Mega Man Drive or Dive, I don't know. It was not much.
Yep.
Dominic Harmon says, with all the games releasing in October, could this be publishers trying to get games out in time for Game Awards consideration? I don't think that's really matters. I think October is just, before holiday. It's still, for Alan Wake, it's also Halloween
season.
Time.
Yes.
Yeah. So what else is October aside from Alan Wake?
I was actually just going to look at it. So if you want to give me a second,
the Gamer browser,
Internet Games Database. I'm going to the thing that the Gamer browser draws from, which is the Internet Games Database.
It doesn't just know itself, huh?
No, it doesn't. No, the Gamer browser is not self-actualized yet. So sorry about that.
Oh, Spider-Man October. God, I forgot about Spider-Man. Jesus, that's
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, I think, are the big ones. So yeah, a lot of big games, but that used to always happen in October, November. It's weird that it happened in June this year, right?
Yes.
That's the weird thing.
God, all right. Man, that's a lot of games.
Next one is from Big Fresh 37. Best guess. What was with the Hexen shirt?
Oh, I think that he... okay, so Hexen was owned by Bethesda? Do they already own Hexen, or is that...
Was id, I think.
It's it. I can't remember. I was like, I thought Hexen was part of the Activision deal, but I can't keep it straight.
Is that what it is?
I can't keep it straight. I honestly can't. I said that like a bunch of times on the live stream, and I wasn't looking at chat, so I don't remember if anyone was correcting me. But I thought Hexen, because I know Raven worked on a Hexen, and
Raven worked on Heretic, which is the first game, and I think it's all id and Raven. So I think it was, I think Hexen
is Activision. It's either owned by ABK or Bethesda. Yeah, right. That's how exactly, Lucius. That's like it's one or the other. So it's id. It is okay. I think that they are gonna do one, but I don't think they're making one right now. I think it's something. Also, like, he said as much later somewhere where he's like, you don't have to always read into my shirts. Sometimes I just wear shirts. I like Hexen. So yeah, Raven owns the IP, says Graham Freeman. That sounds right.
Who owns Raven now?
That's Activision. Raven works on the Call of Duty Battle Royale stuff, Warzone.
Oh, right. That's right. Okay. Well, there you go then. I should tell Phil, you own Crimson Skies right now. You should wear that shirt.
Yeah, you should have said that. Yeah.
That's why. That's my headcanon, is that people, they said People Can Fly is going to make a game for Xbox. I'm just convincing myself it's Crimson Skies based off of nothing. Why not?
Yeah.
Okay. Next one here is from El Grug. It says, great job with the couch, Jeff, and great job being not as weird as Dan and Mike. The final boss of Tears of the Kingdom blows Breath of the Wild out of the water, in my opinion. Good, I'm excited for it. Oh, I'm a little offended by the way that you said I was weirder than Dan. I'll be honest.
You're not.
Not even close. Not even close. You can run a poll in this chat, and you know how they are with me. I bet I'll win that poll. I bet Dan will win it. You know what I mean?
Dan pulls the mask off in front of me enough that it's like it's disarming. But then he'll say something legitimately, and then it reminds me.
I got married in a Taco Bell.
And you wouldn't? I would get married in Taco Bell.
I think I wouldn't, Jeff. I have to say. You can judge me. You can call me a snob. I don't think I would.
I absolutely would get married in a Taco Bell, so maybe I'm weirder than you. I'm starting to pull. It's hard to tell, Mike, when you're like in the thick of it, who's weirder. I'm too close to it, honestly. I can't tell.
Okay. Well, you're the one who's close to both. You should know.
I know, but it's it's different every day. It really is.
All right. Next one here is from T Bucket 23, who asks, is Sackboy a meep?
Yes, Sackboy is very much a meep.
Yeah, very meepish, huh?
Emmy has her dressed up as a punk rock girl. Addie goes in with the vanilla, and they're like little brother, little sister, and they kind of play that way, but they're both meeps.
Wow. Jackie G says, heard any updates on the Game Pass family plan?
No, it's surprising that we came out of this in like that extended showcase. So, like, you think that's the perfect place to announce it? I think it's still coming, but maybe it's coming this holiday instead. Real quick to test the super chat. Dan thinks you can breathe in space. I never said Mike was dumber than Dan. I know Mike is smarter than Dan. Trust me. Trust me.
Next one here is from Rogers OG. He says, "Thank you, boys, for all the awesome not E3 work." Thanks you, Rogers.
Absolutely.
It was, and maybe we'll just talk a little bit about some of the fun we had. Maybe we'll talk about it now because we did get to have some fun just hanging out with the crew. That like the first night before Summer Game Fest or the day of Summer Game Fest, I forget what it was. We all got to hang out in Little Tokyo for a while.
Yep.
We had a big crew. We got to eat this isekai. It was something that sounded like isekai restaurant.
Isekai,
basically Japanese grill kind of a thing where it was great because like Emma and Bailey just ordered for the table, and we got like one of those towers of Sapporo.
The towers of power. Yes, that was so delicious. I was in charge of
pouring it, and this is a great motion for me. It was so fun for me to be the beer guy, and the food was really good. And then we went to karaoke, like one of those Japanese karaoke rooms. And it was just, we had a really fun time.
I had a great time.
Good.
It was a lot of fun. Mike was belting out some tunes. Kurt Indovina was like kicking high and singing. Emma was a great singer. It was a lot of fun.
Good singers.
Yeah.
I was doing some duets with people.
Yes, you guys, you and Emma did a duet
Kish.
of.
It was good.
Yeah, Mary. That was my first time meeting Mary Kish. You did a duet of Grease.
You're the one that I want.
Yeah, with Emma, and it was incredible. It was a good way to knock off the night. Yeah, I was to say isekai. The restaurant isekai or something like that. Yeah,
it's something very similar to isekai.
Shoji Koda put it in there. It's not isekai as an anime genre, right? It's isekai. I can't say it. Fuck it.
There's a lot of grilled like skewers and just a lot of good food.
Yes.
It was really good. It reminded me of Epcot, of course, but most things do. Next one here is from Big Fresh 37. After 3 nights of having the Games Beat, XEGBSC Games Beat, the Giant Bomb at Night show on, my fiance told me she has developed a crush on Jeff Grubb.
It happens to the best of us.
I don't approve of this.
Yeah,
what does your fiance think of me?
My wife was watching the last segment on the first night. And your feet came out, and she's like, I just feel so bad for that lady, that girl right there. I'm like, Mary's a good sport. It's fine.
Oh, Mary loved it. She thought it was funny.
She was having a great time. Yeah.
Yeah. God, that was that. I mean, all the couches I was on were fun. The last couches of the day were always weird. That first night, it was really something. I was in that RoboCop costume. I was getting all sweaty. There's one point where Mary tried fanning me off of an old EGM, and I was like, genuinely like, don't do that. That's a classic EGM. Please don't bend it.
I think I gave that EGM to Baron. I'm like, Baron, just take this. Here you go.
No! Baron deserves it. Baron's a good boy.
Yeah, Baron's awesome.
All right, next one here is from Stefendo, who says, hi, Beefy Boys. First time super chat. Thank you, Stefendo. Nearly all Nintendo IP getting 1 to 3 games within their series on the Switch. What are the chances we get a new Star Fox in the next year or two? It should be soon. Not necessarily. Star Fox Zero was something of a wet fart for them. I think they. I mean, look, it's like the one big Wii U game. Really, there's maybe a couple other ones that didn't get like a direct sequel, or 2, a port to the Switch. It feels like Star Fox has kind of been put on the bench a little bit here. I would expect other dormant series like F-Zero to come back before Star Fox at this point.
Yeah, I think that's right. I think they should have. They should have the faith to do more with Star Fox again. And make a big, full, modern Star Fox game with all that would entail, while also keeping the classic Star Fox gameplay somewhere in that loop. I think they're going to take their time trying to get to that point.
I wonder if maybe you do need a new Switch to do something actually impressive and cool with Star Fox. Like maybe if that was a game where you can do the kind of fly into a planet and fly out of a planet, like make it a bit more open, maybe that would give that new life.
I think that'd be very
difficult.
Cool. Yeah.
But you couldn't, I don't know if you could do that on a current Switch.
Yeah, maybe not.
Let's see here now. The next one here is from Burrito. It says, Jeff, Mike, good to have you guys back. Congratulations, Jeff. Stellar interviewing for Giant Bomb at Night.
Thank you very much. It was a lot of fun.
It is weird to be doing a normal podcast again, huh?
Yeah, it's like back to normal life. But, it's nice in a lot of ways. But it definitely felt special to be out there making all that stuff happen. Real quick, sorry. Dan is 66%. Mike 34%. Dan officially weirder than Mike. I think that's, you know what? People are starting to win me over. I think they're probably right.
Yeah, who regrets their words and deeds now?
Definitely me. Always me.
Yeah, that's what I thought. The Uncharted Wolf says, I can't stop thinking about Starfield and bought the $300 collector's edition with the watch. What was the last collector edition you bought? I still get sent some from time to time, but even if I didn't, I probably wouldn't buy them.
I want that
anymore.
Watch. I'm admitting I want that watch.
It's a nice watch. I did buy like a limited run thing for Monkey Island 1, the Sega CD version once, not too long ago. I think I actually did buy the Final Fantasy 14 Endwalker collector's edition because I'm a big Final Fantasy 14 guy.
Yeah.
So there you go. That's the last one I bought.
I might end up getting that Starfield one because I want the watch.
It's a cool watch. Next one here is from Grubb, who says, I was playing the Master Chief Collection on PC and my console saves are still there. Do you think Starfield would allow cross progression also
between PC and console?
I think it's
definitely.
Is that standard now for that stuff?
That's standard for them. I mean, if you're playing on the Xbox versions of both, so like the Xbox app on PC, if you play that version, you're definitely like, if you go to the Game Pass on your PC, it's definitely going to have the cross save. Even on Steam now, for many of their games, not all of them, but for many of them, they have cross progression.
Big Jimbo Ryan says, boy, would I hate to be the real Jim right now. Whoa, dropping kayfabe right now.
Clearly a work. This is a work. This is the real Jim. Just doesn't want to have to come in there and answer questions for what happened with that last showcase.
Ha ha ha, is that all you got? Xbox multiplats and CGI trailers, Spider-Man 2, and iCup 2 next year. Clearly sweep. What's iCup 2?
I don't know.
Kano Wood said, low-key, Forgotten Sands on Wii actually rules. Interesting. Forgotten Sands was the unbooted game that I didn't even realize had a Wii version.
I definitely had some Prince of Persia games on Wii, but I think it was like the that one, the Tale of Two Brothers, whatever is the Godsmack one. I think I had on Wii.
That never came out on Wii.
Okay, there was the one where he's like smoky looking, and I just assumed
maybe that's Forgotten Sands.
Maybe that's Forgotten Sands. Okay, maybe that's what I have.
That's Forgotten Sands.
It was hard for me to keep them apart after a while.
DK Rappin, who actually sent two super chats because he forgot to include his message on the first, said, I'm an idiot. I did type the message on my first super chat. Anyways, Jeff, have you heard any more chatter about the Metal Slug Tactics game? Yeah, we haven't heard about that in a little bit, huh?
Yeah, it's been a grip. No, I haven't. I mean, I know that SNK had some, weird stuff when they were invested heavily in by Saudi Arabia, but I don't think that disrupted the development on that game at all. I don't know. I'll look into it. I'll see what we can find out. But because I'd like to see that game. I would like it to be good.
Flew the Luchu 9183's back and says Fable 1 didn't have character creation. Stop shill. Man,
yeah, stop shilling for the first game in Fable and deliberately ignoring the second and third games which exist.
Yeah, I was about to say, I thought I know the first game your character only changed based on your decisions. I thought maybe there's character creation like straight up after that. I don't even remember. I'll tell you what, who cares though? Even if you could only play as that girl from the trailer, what the hell? He came right back, as I think people were pointing it out, said, Flew the Luch Crew 9183 said, Fable 2-3 character creation is limited. It's over. It's over. Okay, so it's over. Well, if it's limited, I assume you can find some options to find somebody you won't be disgusted and ashamed to fap to in there somewhere, Flew. So good luck.
Yeah, you go beat off what you need to beat off.
About Xbox Killer, but the whole like this main character's not attractive enough shit. Like get over it.
Yeah,
like come on,
this is just straight up loser behavior.
It's straight up loser behavior, man. I know you can do better, Xbox Killer. Next one's from Dream. He said, my disappointment was no Star Wars Eclipse. Seriously, Quantic Dream and Nuts is a new indie label, but no news on their projects. Plus, it's been 5 years since Detroit. Have you heard anything? I mean, I would almost be happy if there was no Star Wars Eclipse. I do not like Quantic Dream at all.
Yeah, me neither. And it's not going to be like one of their other games, but that doesn't mean it's going to be good. I mean, the one thing about it is it's a High Republic game. I really like the High Republic setting after reading a couple of those books and really enjoying them. I don't necessarily think that I'm going to get a lot of fun stuff out of a Quantic Dream one, though. I bet it's going to be overwrought and weird and bad. But that game was like, having troubles immediately. And what I always heard was 2027 at the earliest. Like, come on, are we ever really going to be playing that thing? They're gonna run out of money, I think, and I don't think it's ever going to come out. But that's just a guess. No headlines, please.
Creaky Leg said, when Mike Minotti passes on to the great beyond, so, aka when I fucking die, what will be his lasting legacy? Inhaling his dad's feet dust, being the real Poop City Slamma Jamma, or top whatever in neon white. Love you guys. All right, Jeff, if I fucking die tomorrow, what are you going to remember me for like 10 years from now?
Yeah, it's going to be the moment you took off the RoboCop mask and it was just,
it's every time I'm so surprised by how much brighter it is when I take that thing off.
That's the surprise of like taking it off like continued for a second. So first it was like relief, and then it's like, it's bright.
It's aggressively bright in here.
That was a very funny moment. Or just like being in the RoboCop suit next to Mary, and you like lift your feet up and they're just sticking out like that. And I look over at Dan, and Dan's laughing harder than I've ever seen him laugh, and I'm laughing harder than I've ever laughed. I'm like, yeah, that's probably what I'm going to remember.
And poor Mary came like really like dressed up, like put a lot of thought in her appearance, and I'm fucking a barefoot RoboCop.
Beyonce is like talking to Chet. I will forget those feet. I will. I don't think so. I don't think that's going to happen.
D-Test says, Dan thinks you can breathe in space.
Yeah. Okay. Like I said, I don't think.
And then Nintendo says, just consider Dan's Mario opinions for a second.
That's true. Listen, Dan's definitely more annoying than Mike. That's amazing as that is.
So he's more annoying than me. He's dumber than me, but somehow not weirder than me.
He might be weirder than you. Yeah, he might be.
Lucius Augustus says, I don't make a big deal about this type of stuff, but you did a great job at bringing people of color on the Giant Bomb couch and making them comfortable. You did good. Yeah, I think you all did a great job with that, Jeff. I mean, as a very white male myself, like I don't know like how much I get to really say about that. Like obviously my perspective is limited, but it certainly felt like we got to hear from a lot of different voices and see a lot of different faces, and I think that was a very good thing.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of cool people in the industry, so it's very easy if you try. And I think that's just we tried, and it paid off, I think, in terms of having diverse voices and having interesting panels and people coming from a lot of different perspectives. I think my favorite was getting to ask Rihanna about covering it while being pregnant, because that's just never something I've ever heard anyone talk about before. And it was very cool to like have her there while being 17 weeks pregnant, just being on her couch and like doing that, let alone all the coverage she was doing for What's Good Games. So yeah, that was definitely a standout moment for me. And the Argentinians, of course.
There were a lot of people who like, because I was talking to people sort of like, in the fandom office when they weren't on, or a lot of people were just hanging out. But there were a lot of people who were on the couch who said, oh, this was, awesome that I got to do this. Always wanted to. So yeah, a lot of happy people, a lot of people getting to. It was very nice to hear that. It's like, it was important to me. I think it's important to some people to hear like how many people it was important to was very nice. El Grug says, explain the ramen, Mike. Also obligatory Nintendo Direct question. Okay, I will explain the ramen because there's no real good excuse for what I got. You
came out better disgusting than any of us, I think.
Oh yeah, like Jan got food poisoning.
I got spicy ramen in my eye and just sat there and was just like, I'm dying.
Jeff was such a mess. I didn't even I was trying not to give him shit for it, but we were eating at this ramen place.
I spilled my water.
He knocked over his water all over Jan.
Yep.
And then 2 seconds later, splashed his spicy ramen right in his eye. And he was like, it hurts. It's like, is it red? I'm like, yeah, you should go wash it. I was like, nah. And then 10 minutes later, he's still complaining about it. I was like, Jeff, go wash your eye.
It was like 30 seconds later, and it was clearing up. But you're right. I went to the bathroom. I put a little bit of water in. I'm sure that helped a little bit. But it was like by the time I got to the bathroom, it already felt much better. But I had to spill my water. And then it was like a perfect, like I put my, the soup spoon they give you for ramen. I put it straight in as I'm like looking over it because I think I was like lifting it up because I just spilled my water. And so I was holding it and I'm like looking down at it, and it was just like that perfect. Like if you saw a drop of water in a commercial, it was like that, but in reverse, straight up into my eye, like a huge glob, perfectly into my eyeball. And it hurt because it was spicy ramen. I asked for the spiciest that they had. So
here are my excuses about my very bland looking ramen. And look, they are just excuses. I want to be clear about that. I don't blame anyone for judging me. One, I had eaten not too long before that, so I didn't want to get a whole thing. Like just noodles and broth, that sounded pretty good. 2, I can't get the spicy stuff. I like spicy. It upsets my Crohn's, so that there's a lot of the color gone right there.
Yeah.
That 3, like, I like some of that stuff they put on top, but I also don't like some of it. And a lot of times at these places, when I say like just no bean sprouts or this or that, it just all comes on anyway. So it's easier to just say none of it, and then I am generally better. I also forgot just how like gray regular pork broth looks. Maybe I should have gotten chicken broth.
Like, the chicken broth might have helped there because they look like poor person's like porridge.
It looks like slop.
Yeah,
it looked like the
slop.
gruel that Scrooge eats in Christmas Carol. Yeah, it was not appetizing looking. I admit it.
It's funny though.
Next one here is from Troy Goals. Says longtime watcher but never comment. Just wanted to congratulate Jeff on an awesome week of hosting. Feels like a Giant Bomb has some great momentum going. Thanks.
Yeah,
guys.
we're talking about that. We think we have some momentum. We're going to try to turn it into some stuff over there. Do some fun stuff. Hopefully, we'll see.
Flew the Looch crew is back. Says explain the dislikes on the trailer. Don't dodge.
Yeah, like fucking clowns like you are like not getting a boner and you're mad at the universe about it. That explains it. Like, yeah. What do you want me to do about that?
I thought you can't see dislikes on trailers anymore.
Yeah, I don't know. There's like usually like
going out of your way to like look at the Xbox trailer dislikes and like some back end thing.
Yeah, are you like pressing F11 on your Chrome or F10, whatever, F12, excuse me, to look at the dev tools? That's pretty. Right. That's pretty loser behavior tonight.
I mean, look, there was also dislikes on that Prince of Persia trailer, and that game is one of the best things I played. So I don't know.
That game fucking rules.
Look, I mean, all you can literally say about Fable is that you think the main character is ugly. Okay, so what? Cody Bishop says, Jeff, you hear anything about Crimson Skies reboot? This is a fascinating question, Jeff.
No, absolutely not.
Oh, why didn't you ask Phil?
Because I don't want to give you what you want. Then you'll keep asking me to do things.
Was there anything you like later were like, because you had a very comprehensive interview, but was there anything like, oh, I should have asked them about?
Yeah,
like,
there was
Halo or 343 or something like that.
Yeah, I like there's a lot of follow-ups I wish I could have just asked, but it was the one that sticks in mind. I don't know if we ever got around to it. Like we talked about it in so many terms, like the Japanese development stuff, and I was like, are you going to do more stuff that like you've done with Sega Atlas, where you just go out and make the deal so that they kind of are forced to be on Xbox instead of having to make those decisions themselves, because that's clearly what they've done with Sega and Atlas, and that's worked out really well. And I wish I could have got that answer. There's a whole bunch of other stuff. I had a list of questions. I didn't get to most of them because the conversation just kind of went where it went, and it was very interesting. We talked about Game Pass for too long, but that's how it goes sometimes.
Right, well, it felt like I think he had a desire to kind of, I'll say, like defend it a bit, right?
Sure.
Because it is under a lot of scrutiny. So I think he was I think that was maybe a goal of his, perhaps, to kind of come out and get some of those criticisms dealt with on Game Pass.
Mm-hmm.
I think we got one more here for now from Connor Wood, who says Forgotten Sands Wii version is unique. Basically, Sands of Time 4. Interesting. So kind of like we had that with like Star Wars Unleashed we saw recently. Right? They did a lot of that with those Wii games, where the Wii version was just a different team making a similar but different game.
Also, the game I was thinking of on the Wii, Two Thrones, which was on the Wii.
It was on the Wii. Okay, so that was the third game. Yeah. Yep. I didn't realize that because that probably also came out on GameCube, but yeah, it probably would have been late enough that it had just a straight up Wii port.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, that's it for Super Chats for now. If you guys have any more, we will get to them. But Jeff, now it's your turn to read stuff.
Yes, I got the community here, our podcast producers in the Discord, which of course, if you support us on Patreon, you can get in there and you can get to the podcast producers channel and you could be a part of this. Let's start here with Pablo Cos, who answers our question. Hey, with the SGF behind us, what were your favorite moments from the showcases, the streams, and everything else? Pablo Cos says, that one time when Mike Minotti left the Ubisoft presentation early.
Did you just mispronounce my name?
Yeah, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, that was...
Mike Minotti.
You guys didn't see it at the end of the Ubisoft thing. Like the camera's pointing to like shooting a crowd, and suddenly you just see me stand up and like, get my bag and kind of look around with the expression of, and I literally was thinking this, why is nobody leaving? Because it was just like that bullshit at the end where Yeez is like, no, I'm going to make all the little people stand next to me.
The reason no one on the frame was leaving is because they were all Ubisoft employees, and they're like, we're being celebrated. Yay. And Mike's like, oh, I don't care about you. You just made games.
And the funny thing, I was like, oh, Mike was out of there. I actually really liked Ubisoft's press conference. I thought it was actually really good. There was a lot of stuff there I liked. I liked what I'm seeing from the Assassin's Creed game even. Like I said, big fan of both of those massive titles, and for the Prince of Persia game, really good. I think Ubisoft almost seems like they might turn things around, which is shocking. But yeah, I was like, look, I got an appointment to get to in 10 minutes here. I gotta go, actually.
Yeah, it was a very funny look, and then
it was very funny. The best was because you guys talked about it when you were doing your live reaction. And I saw Kind of Funny also pointed me out when it happened.
Did you see Creaky Legs' thing where he had you popping up behind them on stage?
Yes, I did see that. It was incredible.
That was very, very, very good. Let's see. Bopfield says Starfield was their standout thing, and I think most people are with you. Christian said. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, so here's my question with Start, because everyone's like, oh, what kind of character are you gonna play? Do you think about that before you get there, or me? I usually when I start up, then that stuff kind of just happens organically.
It's gonna happen organically because I think I'll make some early decisions that I'll regret, and that's fine. I'll figure out what I want to do and start speccing my character that way, and start investing in tools and ships and resources in that direction, just based on what I think is fun. With a game like this, and there's so much to do. Say I'm going to pick one thing that I think is fun and start there, and it's probably going to be it's going to be exploration, and I just really, really hope that piracy is very good, because the idea of docking ships, stealing stuff, fencing that, and turning that into a loop, and going to one part of the galaxy or the universe with the solar system, whatever it is, where this stuff is plentiful, and I can get a ship, and I can get a ton of that stuff, and then taking it to a part of the universe where it's rare and selling it. Fuck, I hope that's how it works. I have no idea, but I'm building myself up to hope that's the way it works. And if that's the way it does, that's what I'm going to spend a lot of my time doing. Like in Oblivion, I would just rob people's houses and then just go sell that shit and do that over and over. I love that. That was so much fun. So that's what I want to do here.
I'm curious because you can steal the spaceships too. Like you can add it to your fleet, but can you sell the spaceship? Because then I assume that would be incredibly profitable, just straight up stealing spaceships.
And if you can, is that a huge red flag for Interpol of space and stuff?
Where's this guy getting all these spaceships?
Yeah. Just you sell one, it's you got to put your name down when you sell something. This was reported stolen, and you got to dip. Again, I'm definitely working myself into a shoot with this game, but that's fine. They have to live up to it. They are promising a lot.
I'm ready for it.
Christian says Jeff slapping Mike's flaky feet was one of the most disgusting things I've ever seen on the internet.
Look, they're not that flaky, but it wasn't. I was just trying to say they aren't sweaty.
Sure, that's
how people see my feet. You can see they look pretty good.
That's honestly how people say they're not sweaty. They just say they're not sweaty. They're flaky.
Those are just the flakes that you're seeing down there.
Crunch's Big Basketball says Snowbike Mike's reaction to the egg white story, which
fucking love Snowbike.
So me too. It's the second that he loses him, Dan loses Snowbike Mike with the face where he just can't stop himself from laughing very hard.
There was a bunch of good faces because Patrick Klepek's face when you explained what Tokoda meant was just also
and Mary's incredible. Face too. Yes, Mary's absolutely. Too. Everyone was cracking up. That was good.
Every time I saw Snowbike Mike all week, I'd get so excited. Big Mike, what's up, man? Just that energy he always has at all times.
The unmatched enthusiasm. Let's see. Mr. Bowler says we need to talk about Mike's plain ass ramen order. Well, there you go. He talked about it.
It was talked about. I got no excuse, and yet many excuses.
Bongla just posted a picture here of a nude. This is not Kiryu, who was nude Ichiban. Thank you, nude Ichiban from Like a Dragon, where he just is cupping his balls, his dick in his balls.
Yeah,
so, that's pretty good. That is very exciting. I'm excited to go to Oahu.
Do you have a lot of the you're naked in public places dreams? I get those.
Not a lot, but I've definitely had one recently, and I bet it was stress from planning the couch segments, where it's I'm going to be doing a big thing, and they're I got to have all this stuff in order, and I forgot my clothes. I think I had one of those dreams leading up to that. That sounds right. Randy says the trailer for Metaphor Re Fantasio, which,
Fantasy Persona.
Fantasy Persona looks very good. Yep.
Yeah, I'm into it.
Mary Kish saying, this is from Low Rule. Mary Kish saying, listen, you've got a lot of things against you, but you got some really good pipes. Mike was very good at karaoke, so I think that set him off on a good path for the rest of the weekend.
There you go.
Absolutely. J Mania says, my favorite moment was the Skull and Bones musical presentation. They focused more on the guy making mouse sounds than the trailer for the game, and it was all just to reveal the closed beta. That game is never coming out, right? Listen, I don't know. But
there's been so many false flags. Lol. It's got to come out eventually. It seems like it might. It's funny that game's going to come out after the Avatar game at this point.
Yes, that was a funny moment. There was a couple of those. That Pragmata, like
Pragmata is like weird. Like we're so sorry our games did not.
Well, no one knows what the fuck this game is.
Like, what's this game again?
Yeah. Like I remember the announcement, but I still don't. Like I just remember people being like, "Is this Kojima?" I'm like, "At Capcom, are you high?" Yeah.
Are you high? It's funny how Capcom is the hottest game developer in the world right now, but like at a pretty bad show. And I wasn't shocked that they did, because their Capcom showcase things are usually
that's what these are. Yes,
that's what they are. And like people kind of have short-term memory about that, and you're setting yourself up for big expectations being in this week. Like you shouldn't have done that. But yeah, it was the Pragmata thing that was like weird.
Let's see. Bongla says that the Nothing Burger Grasshopper thing where they announced nothing but got me excited for possibly a fake game called Pistol Yakuza. Is that going to be fake? Because I know he was like talking something up in the background. I don't know.
I don't know. Me and you aren't much for Grasshopper stuff. Really.
That's true. I've not played or not really enjoyed many of his games. The Diablo Wolf writes Starfield like 20 times here. That's fair. Benji Glass Key, Silk Song at the Xbox Showcase, and Mike's Feet. Okay. Which, it
is incredible that, like, amongst all the things that happened this week, no Silk Song.
It is a little bit incredible, like, incredulous. Like, I cannot believe we still don't have more information on Silk
like,
Song.
We talk about, video games take so long to make now. It's kind of weird. Silk Song is one of these games that's taking, like, 7 years to make or whatever.
From Randy, Volvi was also my favorite. I haven't watched the Devolver Digital one yet. I need to catch up on that.
Yeah. I didn't see that. Of course, I didn't see the Wholesome Game Show, because who cares about those games?
Nick Turbo, Jeff leaving Dolphin running on his computer for the entire time he was gone. On the last day, I was getting ready like for one of the segments, and Jan's just like, Jeff, come here. And he just points at Discord, and he's like, you've been in Dolphin for like 4.5 days. Are you okay? I'm like, yeah, okay. Listen, I left my computer on. I'm sorry. And then I did
Why did you leave your computer on?
Oh, because I'm a bad person. I mean, I just leave my computer on most of the time.
We yelled at you about this before, but I still can't believe you didn't do it when leaving for a week-long trip.
Well, here's the thing. When I'm leaving on a big, long work trip like this, I do leave it on because there's one out of every, 3 trips. I'm like, I need to remote into that PC, grab something, or render something.
Can't your wife turn your computer on for you?
Yeah, but I don't want to have her to worry about that.
Oh, that's a big burden for her.
Yeah, I usually do leave it on. I have it set up to turn off, and it just didn't for some reason. Probably because Dolphin was on, now that I think about it.
Dolphin was just, I get you that Dolphin on. God.
Okay, listen. Jeremy Biff, I feel like Mike Minotti, Still Bike Mike, Mary Kish, Dan Reichert, and Mike Mahardy are the real Suicide Squad. Yeah, me too. The Suicide Squad.
What are we? Some kind of Suicide Squad? my power is I can shoot foot dust at people and infect their brains.
Yep. Yeah, it was kind of a coming out moment for that whole crew there. That was very fun. The Mike Mahardy bit still gets me, by the way. Fudsack, it's hard to decide between Mike's feet or his shoulder hair.
Yeah. There you go. You guys get an extra peek at that.
Of course. Well, we had the on this show, I think we had the time where you had a bandage on your arm or something, and we had to rip it off, and I think we raised money for it or whatever.
Oh yeah, that was my vaccine back then.
Oh yeah,
first
sure,
vaccine.
Man.
Yeah.
Okay. Always be Corgi says all the fun from GB at night, especially Dan and Mitch going for the throat, trying to convince us which one is the weird one. Great hosting, Grubb. Thank you so much, Corgi. It was the weird off was incredible, and it did not stop when we were off camera either.
I got to get all my cash out of my suitcase, because after that segment we did, I was like, I'm not going to walk around with all this anymore. There's like a 1 in 100 chance somebody might try to mug me.
He's got $500. I would like to have $500. I would like that a lot.
Most people would.
Yeah. Beef Amber, Jeff ruining Tim Geddes' drink and his day. Yeah,
that's right.
I know how much Tim Geddes loves his giant Starbucks drinks in the morning, and I just saw him, and we're just going with the big bro hug, and I'm so happy to see Tim Geddes. And then we just break apart, and my arm comes, and he just puts it right there, and I just karate chop it out of his hand.
Incredible.
And it exploded everywhere. Thankfully, we weren't in the middle of all the kiosks. We were over in the hard ground area. So Tim got someone to come mop it up real quick while the rest of the Kind of Funny crew was giving me a hard time. So
good.
But then they dropped like 2 or 3 more drinks themselves that the later that same day. So I don't think I was on. I think it was me, not me at all.
Maybe it's a Kind of Funny problem.
Kind of Funny problem. Beef Hammer continues. Also, Starfield bringing back the adoring fan gives me hope that we could find Preston Garvey and he'll tell us about a settlement in the solar system that needs our help. Yeah, the adoring fan bit was very cool. It was very nice to see that. Yeah. Bench JC just writes Mike's feet.
Man, people really like my feet.
You gave it away for free, Mike. That's a lesson learned.
Do you think Phil Spencer saw my feet?
Yes.
Oh no,
I do. Because I mean, it was going around.
I did shake his hand after your segment, and he couldn't quite look me in the eye.
He follows me on Twitter, and I retweeted a lot of that stuff. So I bet he's definitely seen your feet at the very least on Twitter. Screaming Madden. When RoboMitch became a WikiFeet icon in front of Giant Bomb, Fire Escape, Mike and Mahardy, and Dan, also Dan, and Snowbike Mike. And my top games were Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown, and Beastie Ball, that Pokemon/volleyball game at Day of the Devs.
I played that. It was pretty neat. There was that other game that was just Pokemon, but a shooter, and they were not. I don't know if their Pokemon were legally distinct enough, Jeff. It was just straight up like, here's an Eevee.
I think we'll find out. But when they get sued here pretty soon, so that'll be a lot of fun.
Pow World. Thank you, Sean.
Yeah, Pow World. Yes.
Look at that name. Like, what are we going to call our Pokemon knockoff?
They don't give a shit.
World.
Yeah, no. all those games that those companies make are just, yeah.
I'm always a little surprised it got a slot. Like, I get it. It looks cool. But, like, you think, especially if Jeff wants, like, Nintendo's help in the future, maybe they'll take the most blatant Pokemon ripoff thing in your show.
Like, I know there's like one company that does it on a lot of Jeff shows. I don't know if it's always the same company, but that's the company that had like that conveyor belt game where like all the cows were getting put on the conveyor belt into a giant bowl of soup, and that also had like Pokemon elements.
And like ramen.
Yeah, exactly. You're playing ramen, and then Dokeve was something we've seen before.
Dovahkiin.
Not Dovahkiin, Dokeve. But whatever. Let's see. One Up versus CPU. I thought Star Wars Outlaws and Kunitsugami looked good, and I'm happy to see Ace Attorney 4 through 6 being ported out of the DS and 3DS. Playing the Toxic Crusaders demo was my favorite part, though. It ain't no Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge, but it seems good so far.
What was that second game he said?
Kunitsugami?
Is that Capcom game that I don't remember?
That's the Capcom game, yeah.
Okay, it's the Capcom that I didn't care about. That. Okay,
oh, is this the Path of the Goddess?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay. Very good.
It's part of yes.
Oh, okay.
I did. Yes. I think it's Kunitsugami Path of the Goddess. I think it's like the whole title.
I should pick a name.
Yeah. Right. Pick a lane. Pick a name. Hosp says very pleased that Team Fable is sticking true to its ridiculous British humor with a giant Richard Ayoade.
Yeah, but the character's so ugly though. Who could possibly have fun?
Yeah. I can't.
She's so ugly. You just see the way she like had a face.
Yeah, a human face and like teeth.
A human face and teeth that were like
teeth. I don't want to fuck those teeth, and I think that's a problem that she has.
Crooked or yellow teeth, but they still disgusted people for some reason. Yep. Maybe I don't know.
Eamon Goldie says, I'm going to say a release date for Party Animals. I played it 3 years ago when they had a demo during Steam's first Next Fest. It was great. Think Gang Beast with better controls, weapons, and cute animals. I couldn't stop laughing while I played it. That's right. We've seen that game over and over. I assumed it was out. I didn't realize it was like...
Yeah, me too.
I thought like, oh, this is just some update. All right, then. I'll give it a shot when it comes out. Shoji Kodo, the entire final couch of Night 1 was the absolute highlight for me. My stomach was hurting, and I had tears in my eyes from laughing way too much. Although my favorite moment from an event has to be Starfield. This sounds absolutely crazy for me to say, but it looks to be a real contender against Tears of the Kingdom for Game of the Year, assuming it launches in a decent state. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I think it's got a shot if it delivers on everything it's saying.
I'm so excited to be that one annoying guy trying to like beg people to remember Resident Evil 4 come Game of the Year.
Yeah, have fun with that. Villain Mac. I really enjoyed hearing from John Davison on the couch. So did me and Mike fanboyed out at him afterwards.
We geeked out to John Davison afterwards because we were both such big One Up yours, One Up show fans, and the AGM. So like we kind of geeked out and did a little bit of I want to be here without you.
Yeah, we definitely said that. I meant it.
Great.
I was a big fan of One Up and One Up yours, says Villain Mac. So I popped hard when he showed up. Yeah, it was very nice of him to come out and. Like I told him we were going to talk about like the meme of the four white guys, and he was very like no problem, we could talk about that. So he was great. Jet Binks, the Xbox Showcase had a lot of fun games, but I loved hearing Jeff, Lucy, and Tam talk with Phil Spencer and Matt Booty about Xbox and Starfield on the couch. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. That was a very cool thing. Kind of still can't believe it happened. It was pretty neat. Let's see, Matt Rare Monkey, the Jan fake out and Patrick quitting GB again and is screaming about Remap Radio. Yeah, I need to go back. I need to go see the chat reaction. Actually, I would love to watch that.
Tell me. Well, I did not know.
I thought Jan something.
Was leaving. I was so scared.
Yeah,
that's fucked up. That was messed up. I felt in my chest, like, you know, when like, oh no, and then it's like, even choose remember, it's like made me like sad. It's like, don't fucking do it. I DM him. It's like, that was messed up.
Who's gonna edit anything now?
It was Dan's idea, and like Dan,
of course it was Dan's idea.
All the crazy ideas were like God. Dan's idea, and then he's like pitched it to Jan, and Jan's like, "Fuck yeah, let's go." I'm like, "All right, here we go." And like, we'll have Patrick just say this, and Patrick's like, "Yeah, I'll do that." I'm like, "Oh my, okay, everyone's on board. I'm just gonna sit back and let this happen."
Oh my God!
And then I do glance back and see Mike's face. I'm like, "I don't think we told Mike."
No, you definitely didn't. I was like, oh no.
And then Jane was like selling it super hard too. He was like really leaning forward and slapping his thighs and sighing big. I'm like, oh, he's not trying to like even be cute about it. It was awesome.
Dan patting him in the back. I was like, oh, what the fuck is happening here?
Oh, that was good stuff. All right. Clink says Jan reacting to anything, especially Pokemon with the guns and titles. The what? From off screen gets me every time. I'm glad it was so audible because it was popping me too. I was like so much fun to watch him like get excited about stuff like that. Donkey Kong says, I heard a rumor that Mike Minotti tried to rizz up Jim Ryan at Summer Game Fest. Is Mike Minotti the new drip king? Yeah, oh yeah, he's dripping and rizzing. He's drizzing everywhere.
I was at that Final Fantasy 16 thing, and they did like their kind of weird like opening remarks. Then they're randomly like, "Here is a message from a special guest," and it was just Jim Ryan. I couldn't have got my phone out faster to take a picture for you. I was so excited to show you.
I was very excited that he was gracing everybody with his massive presence on the stage screen. That was very nice.
Very, very funny. He said like 5 words. By the way, it was.
It's like, yeah, we give him a bunch of money. His shit better be good. Service Kane, I can't even count how many times I rewatched Snowbike Mike say that Dan is the normalest person on this panel right now, followed by a very drunk Greg Miller screaming "No!" from off camera. On the video game side, I love the new Remnant 2 trailer, and I can't wait to play it. Service Kane, I played it. That game fucking rules.
I really regret. That's one I regret not playing because people really seemed into it.
And the dev team was like very, very nice. It was really cool having them show me around. Like I went there first thing after like missing my appointment the day before, and I was like, I'm sorry, I'm here. Please show this to me. And it was I got to play with them. It was just a lot of fun. That's at that 3-player co-op game. We should crush that for Giant Bomb. That'd be a lot of fun. Colin says, when me and the friends in the secret channels watched you two absolutely kill it on the couch, that was my favorite moment, and congratulations on an incredibly well done outing. Also, Mike's feet. Yeah, thank you so much. It was a lot of fun. Having Mike there the whole time was very, very great. It was special for me, so that was a lot of good stuff.
It was good. Yeah, it was good stuff. It was bizarre, just hanging out with everybody.
Nope.
I mean, like all the goofy panels were fun, but like then like the one I was on with Ben Starr, the voice actor of the main character in the new Final Fantasy, and I'm like, this is really cool. And like he's like, man, he was a great guy. To be honest, like I
was rizzing us up. He's got the most rizz I've ever. Like he's just such a cool dude.
And I mean, we hung out with him there, and I saw him the next day at that Final Fantasy 16 preview event. He's like, "Oh, hey!" Like, gave me a big hug. I'm like, "Oh my God, this guy's awesome! Yeah. I love it." I guess I will play Final Fantasy 16.
You say that jokingly. I'm like, I'm gonna play Final Fantasy 16.
Well, I even told him like, people loved you. There were like people in the chat who like said they were not interested in Final 16, but want to play it just because they love you now. So
same. Yeah, I really feel that way.
He did his job well.
I got the demo. I'm going to go play that here sometime soon. Let's see.
Yeah, I saw Ben Starr was on Kind of Funny today. I think he actually played the demo with Snowbike Mike and some other people.
So him and Tim, I think. Yeah, I didn't watch that part, but he did Kind of Funny Games Daily.
They have a history of Final Fantasy there. Didn't Tim and I think it was Tim and Greg.
Tim and Greg did Final Fantasy 15. Yes, that's right. The release date, yeah.
That was a surreal moment for me, was having Greg Miller fanning my feet for me at the end of night 1.
Yep, it was he would come up and get on my mic. And I was feeling my phone vibrate, and it was my wife texting me, "Why is that man so close to you?" And it was like, he's just trying to get on jealous? The mic. Oh yeah, of course. Come in, it's Greg. Let's see. Wong Gifts. Amidst all of your fancy pants Starfields and Fables, is it weird that I was most excited about a collection of Ace Attorney games that I already own, but just don't want to find and charge my 3DS to play again? Also, Mike's feet.
I mean, it is cool seeing. Ace Attorney 4 is a little weird. It still has some really good cases, but some of that stuff's weird. I liked 5 and 6 a lot, actually, the 3DS ones. But it's just cool. Like, we now have 3 collections with 8 Ace Attorney games. I think the only ones we're really missing now was one Ace Attorney versus Phoenix versus, not Phoenix, right? Ace Attorney versus Professor Layton and the 2 Miles Edgeworth games. I bet we're going to get that Miles Edgeworth collection someday. Which will be cool because we never did get 2 over here. So that will be fun. I bet that's probably next. I bet they're going to announce a Phoenix Wright 7 in not too long. So I'm all about it.
They should make a Phoenix Wright versus Columbo. All right.
I mean, Gumshoe's basically dressed as Columbo, right? So
that's
I think
true.
I think there was even a Columbo statue. So I might be making that up because I got into Columbo after playing all of them. So I'm sure there's plenty of references.
Fish and Love says that Starfield Direct that got me the most excited for an upcoming game since probably Smash Ultimate. Counting down the 83 days since it's hopefully in our hands. And thanks in advance, Todd, for telling me sweet little lies. Also, Mike's feet. Just one after the other.
Barefoot right now.
Okay. Well, listen, I didn't know that, and I didn't ask. Super Harmon, I went for being somewhat interested in Starfield to buying a branded controller and upgrade pack. Going to need the 5 days early access too. There it is. That's what it is.
It is.
As I'm going to Japan for 2 weeks on the 19th. So yeah, September 1st is when that game actually comes out. Man, the controller
rules. This is so good.
God.
Just all the little like text and that. God.
If they don't send it to me like in the next week, I'm just gonna go buy it. I'm such a fucking mark.
It has like these nice grips here. This is the best like themed around a game controller I've ever seen. Like since the chainsaw controller for GameCube for Resident Evil 4.
It's very good. Dugan says, I am really excited for Towerborn. I am too. It is from the Banner Saga devs, but it looks like a Castle Crashers / Brawler. I haven't seen it get a lot of love yet, so maybe it's a dark horse. This is Project Belfry. We talked about it on this show a long time ago. This is the one that I reported on forever ago.
Project Belfry.
Yes, they talked about there's the Belfry. You return to the Belfry. And I said it's like a side-scrolling action brawler sort of thing, similar to Castle Crashers. Yeah, so this is it seems pretty cool. I'm glad it's happening. It makes me hope that Wu-Tang Clan game gets announced sometime soon as well.
Wu-Tang Group.
Yeah, the Wu-Tang Group, because those things were happening around the same time. Cool. Laushin, my 2 favorite moments are when the Giant Bombcast talks about the origin of Mike's username, Tolkodo. Second is the Grubb interview with Phil. Thank you so much, Laushin. That was a lot of fun. Yes, I just love telling everybody about Tolkodo. I wish we could have kept it quieter so we could have told more people, but at a certain point, everyone had seen the reaction to Phil or to that Patrick had.
Started spreading.
Yeah, and Diogo says, every time Mike and Jeff interact in real life, it's must-see content. You guys made SGF Week super special. Huge congrats to the amazing stuff you're doing. Thank you so much.
Speaking of that, I mean, I'm going to be a little bit busy with work for the next week, but after that, we really need to figure out a Margaritaville day. I won that.
Yes, you did. You've earned it. You have it coming your way. We got to pick a date. We got to just pick a date and do it. I would really like that. That would be a great way to spend some time. Maybe if we can find a day where there's also a day game with the Guardians, maybe we can do that too. We deserve a day off, I think. We'll see. Absolutely. Okay. So we'll do some stuff together here again soon. Let's see. Yes, Big Tony. Best thing this weekend is that I found out who to rob if I see a guy traveling. JK.
I'm not going to carry that much cash on me everywhere, people. You missed your window, okay?
Seriously, it would be Metaphor since the Persona games leaked out early. Those games look amazing. Excuse me. Yeah, I think Metaphor looks great. Absolutely.
Are you a little surprised they just don't call it like Persona Fantasy? Like it is so Persona.
Yeah, Persona
is such a name now.
I was watching and I was right. I was 100. Listen, I don't know these games very well, so I was with them saying it looked like a Tokyo Mirage Sessions a little bit. So I'm like, this is in that. That's the Persona Final Fire Emblem. Like obviously there's some other stuff happening here. What is that? Well, okay, no, it's just something different, but it definitely still looks like a Persona in a lot of ways. All right, let's see. MonkeyBot9K says, me favorite thing on SGF was Guillermo Leos, whom I have the joy of knowing personally and is a good friend. That's fantastic to hear. And it was fun to see him teach Grubb how to say yerba mate. Yerba mate. There we go.
The wood tea.
Yeah, the wood tea. As a fellow Argentinian, I felt very represented by him, Rippy, and Chopper. Also very cool dudes. They are very cool dudes. It was
I
great.
just love how we have this giant Argentinian connection now.
Yeah,
how that happened.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, I know, right? G-Man, sir, my favorite part was when Mike and Jeff did hot, steamy gay kissing. Yeah, of course, everyone loved that. That was on the At Night After Night show.
That was only on my OnlyFans.
Yeah. Vision 49, I think the highlights was the GB Couch. You got so many different perspectives from devs, publishers, journalists, content creators, and biz dev people that it really ended up feeling like a state of the industry panel, and Jeff did a great job hosting it. Thank you so much. Also, Mike spawning in every time someone turned on the camera is very funny. My favorite non-couch bit from those nights was Mike, Sam Lake, and Chef Bob from that restaurant, The Grass Skirt, that me and Dan and Jan always put over, all on camera together. And Chef Bob and Mike are just like, check out Sam Lake. And then Sam Lake just turns around and just starts mugging at the camera. We did we had an all hands meeting today at work, and Backler did some shouts. And that was one of the gifts of Mike and Sam Lake and Chef Bob.
Amazing.
And Moises Tavares on there as well, actually. I love that.
I had an evolving relationship with Sam Lake the entire week. Because Dean introduced me to him at the end of Xbox's show. We were at Summer Game Fest. At the end of that, we were he was there. And then I interviewed him about Alan Wake 2. I'm probably going to publish it tomorrow. But then then I was I got to talk to him a bit there, and that was fun. But then he just showed up at the fandom office, and all of a sudden I'm doing a bit with him. So
he really fun. He said he just wanted to come by to hang out. You want to come be on the couch?
He wasn't on the couch. He's I don't know him super well personally or anything, but just with those few interactions, I think I like Sam Lake.
Sam Lake seems very cool.
Alan Wake 2 looking real hot.
I think I'm going to replay Control.
I think I'm going to I say that I want to play Control and actually beat it. When the hell?
I don't know. I love Control. Control's great.
I love playing old games, Chef. I love playing bullshit on Xbox and GameCube, whatever. What? When am I gonna do that? There's just a million things right now.
Yep. Razzle Jazzled says, lots of my favorite moments already mentioned earlier, so I'll give a shout out to a very tired looking trio of Jeff, Dan, and Chan discussing the various burritos they had during Summer Game Fest on the Bombcast. Yeah, that was a fun Bombcast. We just did not even an hour of power. It was fun to just kind of talk about the bullshit. So every night I don't like eating a lot when I'm talking a lot. It just, my mouth doesn't agree with it very much. And I would get post-nasal trip if I had anything dairy or cheesy. So knowing I was going to be talking to people and not want to having a ton of saliva or something, I would eat pretty early, and then I would not eat most of the night. And then we'd get done, and it would be 1 a.m. when I get back to the hotel. And there's this 24-hour taco place near the hotel. And I went there, and at a taco truck, and it was just a disappointing burrito every single night, but it hit the spot still. It's I'm starving, so this thing actually tastes pretty okay, but it was actually super disappointing.
I struggled eating in general. I just kept making, I am picky. When I'm home, I know where I can go to eat relatively healthy. I know where I can go to a grocery store and buy things. Here, I just kind of have to find something at the moment, right? Mm-hmm. So sometimes I wouldn't eat for a while because I couldn't find anything. And one time I was not feeling good. I was feeling sick. I was oh, is this my Crohn's? Turned out I was actually just hungry, so I had to eat something. Then another time, oh, I have to get something real quick. Oh, I'll get these chili cheese fries, I guess. Well, that was a big mistake, obviously.
That was the story of them getting on your shirt?
Oh yeah, then I got some of the chili cheese on my shirt, so that's why I had to change into my Tommy Bahama Disney shirt, which was looking real good. No one could see it though because I was dressed up as fucking RoboCop.
DMC Depressed Me Crying says the Nintendo Direct when they had enough faith in everybody's 12 Switch as their only announcement the entire time. Oh, everybody's 1-2 Switch. Excuse me, I'm an idiot. Everybody's
12 Switch.
Yeah, I don't know. Everybody's 12 Switch. What is that? I put everybody's 1-2 Switch out of my memory already.
Yeah, that happened.
Listen, Nintendo's doing their own thing. Nintendo's operating on island time right now.
Did I skip a super chat or no? Somebody else. I thought somebody sent in a super chat asking you about a Nintendo Direct. Oh, that's right. It was a two-parter when I was asked to explain to Ramen, and then we skipped the part about Nintendo Direct. Grug did ask us. I'm glad this happened. Have you talked? I didn't watch the Bumpcast. Did you talk about a Summer Direct yet?
Not really. I keep saying like, maybe something's happening. Listen, I think something could happen over the next month, like maybe a couple of things. There could be. It seems like there's probably going to be something soon.
Some people are saying next week.
Yeah, next week seems very likely to have something, and then I think there's going to be another something in July. I think they're going to take what would have been a real big boy Direct, and it seems to me like they are piecing them out. Like they did this. Now, if it wasn't last, I think it was last summer, where they like spread stuff out. It seems like they are doing that, but they're still going to like put some stuff into something that looks like a Direct. I think this next one's going to probably be a partner Direct. So
okay. Yeah, they still probably need to do like a deeper dive on Pikmin, and we still have to like get at least one fall game.
Yeah, a mini Direct of some sort. Yeah, you're right. Give us an update on Pikmin 4, and then tell us all the partner stuff that you like said. Hey, we'll put you in a Direct. Well, they're still obligated to do that. So, yeah, maybe next week, maybe sometime in July, maybe both. We'll see. Hammond of Texas. I also got the Starfield controller and just that thing. Oh man, God,
it's real nice. This is like it's like my new Street Fighter 6 pad, basically.
Man, is that pretty. Like reddish on the back?
Yes, and it's here for like the analog like ball.
Oh yeah, and the well.
Oh, it's it looks so good. And the like gold tint of the D-pad, this controller rules.
Let's see. They say Hammond of Texas said, if you want to play Starfield in 60, buy it on PC. Yeah, way ahead of you.
I know.
Way ahead of you. Dan Park, the mail snail, says, this nightmare skit of a presentation still sticks out to me, referring to the Evolve thing from Devolver Digital. It sticks out to me more than the actual games in the showcase outside of the quap-like baby steps that was shown there. This is something I just am catching up on. I think that's a Bennett Foddy game. It's like a 3D game where you play someone that can barely walk. And I'm like, if it's a Bennett Foddy game, I am fucking ready to go. I love Bennett Foddy so goddamn much. So that's very exciting. From Isaac Clark, my highlight is Jeff looking at Mike and asking, you inhaled your dad's feet? That was a very good moment. Yeah.
I guess I never thought of it that way, but I'm like, I guess I did.
Seriously though, Jeff and Mike, you killed it on the GB couch. It's obvious that a lot of hard work went into making all of that happen. Congratulations. Thank you so much, Isaac. I appreciate that. Inufe says, Persona 3 Remake looks amazing. Sad it's skipping Switch, but I'll deal. The night shows rule, and you all crushed it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Might come to Switch eventually, right? It took forever for Persona 5 to get there. I don't know why it took so long, but got there.
Lenny, Cool Dick Denver says, I like how Dan big brain Mike into wearing the RoboCop costume so everyone would think that Mike was weirder than Dan, which led to Mike's feet. That's a good point. That is really what it's like. This stuff that has revolved around this Mike this weekend has been so weird. It would be weird for me not to say that he's the weirder one, but now like stepping back from it a little bit. Yeah. I think Dan's weird.
A lot of it was Dan's idea. Dan was trying to come up with bits for the RoboCop thing for a while. Like at one point, he was trying to get Kenny Omega there, so Kenny Omega would like attack me, then I would come back out. As
it was pretty close. Kenny Omega was in town. We were talking to his people. He kept saying he would do it, but then he would also follow it up by saying, "I'm on a bunch of sleeping pills and I'm really tired for my plane ride." So like, I bet he's not coming. But the idea of like, we were gonna have him do a V trigger on you and kill you.
I'm so excited to sell my first professional wrestling move someday.
Someday we'll make it happen. Let's see.
I did run into Kenny Omega at the Final Fantasy 16 thing, and I like just kind of went up to him like, and they're like, "Oh, hey, you know, I work with Dan, right, Kurt?" Just being real awkward.
Jedi Moss 4, why did Sony not get the Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth trailer from Square? Why did they stick the Spider-Man release date in the Summer Game Fest show? What was Sony's reasoning? Fuck if I know, man. It's weird. Yeah.
Yeah. We couldn't really talk about Rebirth, but that I'm very excited for that. Obviously.
Oh, sure. Yeah, of course. Yeah. But it's,
you're right. That is weird. That would have helped Sony's lackluster show quite a bit.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't fully get it either. Gigantes, welcome back, boys. I hope you both had a fun Summer Game Fest. Great job, Jeff. It was awesome to see you host for Giant Bomb night after night. Also, shout out to Mike for his wiki feat. Now for some games discussion. Did you see Metaphor ReFantazio? I can't believe Project ReFantasy is real. No, I don't think it was available to be seen. Like, I saw the trailer.
Well, I mean, we saw the thing, but it wasn't on the show floor tonight. Right. But we saw what you saw, and I am very much into it. I don't actually have a wiki feed yet, by the way. Nobody, I think, has had the courage to make that, so I think I'm safe.
Okay.
There were too many steps to make the
to get verified.
That wasn't a joke. Yeah. But yeah, it was.
Of course it wasn't a joke. He tried to do it. He tried. That's what he's saying. He's trying to do it for you.
Incredible.
Bugadillo, it kind of got lost in the barrage of game announcements, but I'm hyped about John Carpenter's Toxic Commando game. John Carpenter has to be the coolest old guy gamer of all time, so I'll give anything with his cosign a try. I agree. John Carpenter is fantastic. I will also try anything that he put his name on.
I disagree. I did not care for that.
Okay, that's fine. That wasn't really talking about the game. I said I would try anything he put his name on. You don't like John Carpenter?
Even a generic zombie shooter.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. But John Carpenter.
Yeah, he made those good movies once upon a time.
Oh, wow. Well, yeah, he doesn't like working. That makes him even cooler.
That makes him even better. Look, I'm a coward, but I like John Carpenter movies that I've seen. What have I seen? I guess I've seen Big Trouble in Little China. I haven't seen The Thing because I'm a coward. I haven't seen They Live just for no good reason.
They Live is fucking
I would like They Live a lot.
God, you would,
sure.
Yes. Gulator, Mike, play Control. Mike's play Control.
I would love to play Control. Now it's just a matter of when.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah, this picture of Mike looking scared that Janice quit. You just look like a kid who's about to hear his parents get divorced. Like you really do. And then all the chat going, no. It's just
there goes my
good.
3-year plan. Right?
And then Turbo Sean said this shit, which is the looping gif of Mike putting down his money and Dan picking it up and counting it. This is really good. And Mike's face really didn't change that entire time.
Right, because Nikki and Michael were talking about this wallet stuff before that.
Yeah.
And Dan was joking haha, how much money do you have in your wallet? I'm it's too much. And I did it. Then I started counting. I was whoa, this is way more than I thought was in
And then
here.
Dan was like, what is happening? Stop counting now. We have to do this on air. Dan's got a good nose for a bit, I'll tell you that much.
Yep.
Always be Corgi says, Robin Goblins. Robin Goblins. And Jan no longer enjoying it. Yeah, I like that too. Man, I've been doing that to my whole family since I've been back. I'm a Robin Goblin.
I'll be honest. I have no recollection what the hell you're talking about.
That was on the Bombcast.
Oh, you were seen the Bombcast yet?
Yeah,
okay.
you were busy working during the Bombcast.
I was at Ubisoft.
Yes,
I was too busy standing up at Ubisoft.
We recorded a quick 50-minute Bombcast and we talked about the burritos, we talked about some games, and then we talked about how we're gonna go get ramen soon, and that's when we got ramen together. And then me and Dan were just going ramen goblins.
The Robin Goblin.
And we're like, come on, Jan, you do it. And Jan's like, oh, I don't want to do it anymore. And it's
I don't want to do it.
It's pretty funny. All right. I'll do these last two. Let's see. Dan Park, the mail snail. Someone had to stand up to Ubisoft. That's right. There you go.
Literally, I guess.
And then someone just turned on slow mode, so that might have just timed out everybody. So no more. That's it. That's going to do it from our podcast producers. Mike, what have you been playing, or do you need a time to go to potty again?
Break.
I guess.
We'll be right back after this. All right, we're on break.
There you go. 3 ads right there.
Yeah, perfect. Okay. Let's see here.
It was Gremlins. It was Ramen Gremlins, by the way. Excuse me.
I said Ramen Goblin. Dan said Ramen Gremlin. I was saying Ramen Goblin. Ramen Goblin.
Are you sure about that?
I'm positive. I remember in the moment being like, how dare you, Dan? It's Ramen Goblin. But I didn't actually say that because I was very, very tired.
I think Gremlin is way better.
Ramen Goblin actually rhymes. It's a near rhyme, but it's close enough. Ramen Goblin. I remember Starfield. Fucking Starfield, man. How fucking cool
that shit looks so cool.
Inufe, I did not go to the Microsoft show floor that they might have had. They had some stuff. I mean, obviously Phil was like, people are playing stuff right now. I heard try to think. I didn't agree to anything, so I heard people played Starfield. I didn't, because I was busy fucking on a couch. Not fucking on a couch, but being on
what? Fucking a couch?
I was busy fucking a couch.
I knew Greg was trying to get in there.
We missed that stream.
Yeah, it was that's the late show. But yeah, I think I'll stream tomorrow night on Twitch, and I'll kind of make it an AMA for like everything that like went into planning the show. If people have more questions about it, we could just hang out and talk about that stuff. That could be fun.
Why don't you do a multi-stream? Also do YouTube. That's the shit. That's the meta now. Everybody's multi-stream.
Is everyone doing that? Okay, I'll do it because I don't
Not
have
really. I just saw one person, and it's like probably everybody's doing it.
Maybe we'll see. I don't know. I guess I could use Restream, and then I could have both chats in there. I guess that brings both chats into OBS. I bet that can do it. I don't know. We'll see. I just Restream costs money, so and I don't want to.
Oh, it does. Damn.
Yeah, I think it does at least.
Fuck them then. Fuck Restream.
All right, Mike, where are we at? You good to come back in?
I'm ready.
Okay. All right, Mike. Before we talk about what we've been playing, actually, do we have any more super chats?
We do, but before that, I have to give a special shout out, actually, that I forgot to do earlier.
Oh, really? I'm interested. To who?
To my boy.
Oh, your boy.
The best.
Uh-oh.
To Quack.
No, god damn it.
Let's go.
Did you see that Emma put it on the wall in the studio permanently?
That's right. So that's Quack. This is actually my duck that I got from Stars. This is Quack.
Okay.
So that's
right.
It's a difference.
Right. It's named after the Steely Dan album Aja. Yeah.
I love this. I love this stupid duck. What did you think of Film Stars, by the way? There's some.
I didn't get a chance to play it.
Some people are like, that was way better than I was expecting. And I'm like, yeah, it was a little better than I was expecting.
I didn't get a chance to play it, but I've always been like, that's probably going to be fine. That's kind of how I felt about it from this entire time. It's going to be fine.
Yeah, it's going to be fine.
Yeah.
Put him over here. But yes, there's Quack Aja. So we're getting good to go. We did get some more super chat. And the last one was Crimson Sky. So this one, right here from Cody Bishop, actually. Ooh, more Crimson Skies talk. I love it. It says, Crimson Skies High Road to Revenge was the first Xbox game I ever played. Why do you think the series died? Did it just not have enough sales? Yeah, that Crimson Skies game came out on the original Xbox, which wasn't a super successful system at a time when everybody was really first-person shooter heavy, and this was kind of like a stylized historical set-piece action game that, it was just it was being very creative, I think, in a ways that worked against it, but it's super fun. It's just a game that's, again, seems so ripe. If you're gonna go back and find something that, look, maybe doesn't necessarily have this giant nostalgic fan base, but it's just something that would work really well today. I mean, look how good, Microsoft's, Forza looks, because cars just always look good, right? Or even Flight Simulator, planes just look good, machines look good. They could make such a pretty, like plane combat game.
Could they do it as a something even bigger and have like the flight combat segments, but then kind of make it their Uncharted? Is the universe robust enough for it?
Could. I mean, they were Rebel Strike, right?
Sure. Yeah. Not obviously not Rebel Strike, but yeah.
I know what you mean, but I mean, if you just made it kind of go a single Star Fox, like a big open world kind of one of those,
it's kind of how it played, right? Star Fox.
What's that?
It kind of played like Star Fox, right?
Yeah, it played more like Rogue Leader, honestly.
Oh, okay, sure.
It plays a lot like Rogue Leader.
Okay.
But it's almost like a little open worldy. There's multiple maps, but it's kind of like, okay, fly around to the different objective markers here. Kind of like that training area in Rogue Leader, actually. So it just seems like it would just translate very well to modern gaming without much effort. As much effort as any AAA game takes. Sure. Fitzer says, how did you get both J.R.R. Tolkien and Shigeru Miyamoto on the Giant Bomb couch at the same time?
Yeah,
two all-time legends. Props.
Deep connections. We go way back.
Yeah, Tolkien's been dead for a long time. So that's impressive.
Yeah, we have necromancers on the staff. It's pretty cool stuff.
Matthew Borelli says, very good job with the Summer Game Fest couch.
Yep, it was a lot of fun to put together.
Is it weird that it's the Summer Game Fest couch and not the E3 couch?
Yeah, a little bit. But I mean, also, definitely by the end, it was like, yeah, this is just the Summer Game Fest couch.
Yeah, I could tell it's the new E3 because I was definitely E3 tired.
Yes.
By the end of everything.
Yes, I was, definitely.
Benji Bob says, fun fact, the writing on the controller correlates directly to the actual ship controls in Starfield.
Yeah, it looks like it does, yeah.
Right, there's things here that say, throttle and power to shoot. I guess I didn't realize that would actually work. Maybe I might have to try playing it with this at some point. Because
I bet you keep it around for flying the ship. I bet that would be good. And you use the keyboard and mouse for the character controls, and then when you get in the ship, you pick up the controller. I think that's a totally good way to play it.
Yeah, that actually makes sense. Then
I do that with Elite Dangerous.
Yeah, I've done it with games like that before.
L. Grug says, you opened the battery compartment on the Starfield controller, Mike. I did to put my batteries in, but I guess I didn't really pay attention.
There's a naked lady in there.
We're all into the Starfield.
It'd be cool if it just said, "You're a bitch."
Yeah, we're all into the. Yeah, eat shit.
Eat shit.
Pikunagi says, with Lucy besmirching the Tokoto name, Mike officially has nobody left in his corner for it.
Yeah,
Great job hosting the couch. Jeff.
She came back. Yeah, she came back around and was just like, it's so stupid. I'm like, Lucy, I thought you had his back. And she's like, nope, I can't.
She lied to me.
She lied, yeah.
I could tell because it was very much like, oh, that's not like my mom. Like, oh,
exactly.
That's nice. Yeah. Incredible. Wow. I did T Bucket 23 says, thanks again for the great content on Giant Bomb. Jeff killed it.
Thanks for watching.
And Mike became the next Dave Lang / Johnny V.
Did you ever watch those that segment of Dave Lang or Johnny Vignacchi on the late night Giant Bomb couches?
I've only heard about it.
Yeah, there's it's worth going back and watching some of those, or at least watching the highlights. John Vignacchi doxing Dave Lang, or Dave Lang.
I've heard about this doxing thing. Yes. Was it like an intentional doxing? What happened?
Yeah, Johnny was in his feelings and he just wasn't thinking. And then
it's crazy. In E3 2015 day 3, you should watch it. It's like around 4 hours 20 minutes. It's crazy.
Incredible.
And then the John Vignacchi just being trashed, and like I think that was the one we was on with Ed Boon, right? I think so.
Nobody was belligerently drunk, right? So
no, just Phil.
Right, just Phil.
Any other super chats?
That's actually it for now, everybody. If you want to squeak some more in there, that was a ton though. Thank you. But if you want to send one still, we will read it before the end of the show, which is fast approaching, so you don't have much time.
All right. I was going to do something and now I lost track of what I was going to do. So I'll just say, Mike, what have you been playing?
I mean, besides all that Summer Game Fest stuff, again, I was just kind of excited to get home and play more Street Fighter 6, get back into doing my ranked matches, trying to climb that ladder, being an absolute Lily pro, and then finally getting a night to play Diablo 4 with my brothers was a lot of fun. I want to spend a lot more time with both of those games still. And yeah, just try, last night, at LAX, I played some Zelda. I played a lot more last night. Also, I want to beat it before we're doing our game club discussion on Zelda this month. So I got to beat it before the end of the month. I don't have to, but I would like to. And I know I can. Plus, again, Final Fantasy is just right there also. It is just absolutely incredible how many games I had to play right now. And it was a real weird time to have to be gone for 8 days.
Yeah, it was. There's so many games happening and so many things I want to be playing. And then all of a sudden, like that, 8-day gap. It's like, And I brought my Steam Deck and my Switch, and I didn't touch them. The entire time we were gone.
I did this. I brought my Switch, and the same thing. I only played it at the airport, so I guess I'm glad I brought it. But I am glad I didn't bring my Steam Deck. Like, when am I going to play that?
Yeah, I guess I played the Switch on the plane to and fro. But yeah, it's going to be weird catching up on everything. There's so many good games, so many things I want to actually still get to, and still looking ahead. It's a very good year for games, though, Mike. It just feels like maybe actually the best year ever, or at least in that discussion with those 2 other years of 1997 and or 1998, 98, and then 2008 or whatever it was.
2007, one of those,
something like that. Maybe I'm flipping around, but 2017 was very good, of course.
Yeah. So there's been some good years, but yeah, I mean, if Starfield delivers like it might, and then there's some things that kind of just seem like, of course, Spider-Man 2 is going to be good. Like, how is that not going to hit? Like Pikmin 4, it's also probably just going to be good. But like Mortal Kombat 1 and Alan Wake deliver, and just some of this other stuff. Yeah, I mean, it's already been insane. Final Fantasy 16 real soon, and I mean, I people seem pretty happy with the demo actually. Like I think almost before this there was some talk of ooh, what's going to happen with this?
Yeah, the demo seems to have solved all of that.
I think the demo helped a lot. Yep. So we'll see.
Yep, we will see. All right. I'll go spend some time with Ben Starr. I'm gonna go do that here. Play that demo here pretty soon. Let's get out of here. Let's wrap this up. Thanks for watching, everybody. Mike, why don't you tell people where they can find you on the internet?
Twitch and Twitter at Kodo. Hey, I'm finally getting pretty close to that 10,000 follower count I wanted to hit before the site blows up. So maybe that'll happen. And
my Twitter is breaking on my browser whenever I try to use it, so it is breaking constantly before our eyes.
Cool. Then Gamesbeat.com, I've got some fun stories from Summer Game Fest, including that Ed Boon interview, and then I'm going to have Sam Lake and some other kind of
super chat.
Super chat stuck in here. Okay, and it is from Shigeru Miyamoto. Says, "Why didn't you invite me to the couch, Jeff? 30 more years in jail for you." Well,
I'll never let you on the couch.
I love you,
let me out.
That's that. What about you, Jeff? Anything else you want to say?
Yeah, I'm Jeff Grubb on Twitter, Twitch. I'll stream tomorrow night. It's been a long.
Darachi says one last super chat. Love you guys. Thank you, Darachi.
Thank you, Darachi. I appreciate it. And love you too, Shiggy. I think I'll stream tomorrow night that's the idea. I'd like to get on there. I might try to beat the Minish Cap. I might try to actually continue that.
Actually get back to that. You gotta do that dungeon I love.
Yes, I want to. So I'm gonna keep playing that. Try to get through that, and then I will also just kind of be answering questions people have about Summer Game Fest and the couch and put all that stuff together. So look out for that on twitch.tv/JeffGrubb tonight, or tomorrow, hopefully. And then yeah, we're gonna get back to normal programming on Giant Bomb next week. So for this week, tomorrow, Friday, we are doing a UPF where we're just gonna watch a bunch of the trailers that we missed. I already got a whole list. I asked a bunch of people on Twitter for their recommendations. If you want to give me your recommendations for a game trailer or an announcement that kind of came out of nowhere or no one's talking about, tweet it at me and we'll see if we can get it on the show. Because I think it might be me and Bacalor and Mike. If you want to hang out, we'd love to have you.
Okay.
So look out for that tomorrow. And then again, back to normal on Giant Bomb next week. That does mean, I think, maybe a Blight Club. We'll see. It's going to depend on Dan.
Not that it'd be Light Club. We'll do something. Oh, Greg says Mike is a boomer. Thank you, Greg. Well, no, thank you for the money.
Thank you all for listening. Bye, everybody. See you next time.
Not sponsored.
Not sponsored. Enjoy your gaming.
Enjoy your gaming. Enjoy your gaming.